Fibonacci is an Italian mathematician in the 13th century. If you divide 144 into 233, the result approaches theta.
Theta?
Theta. Greek symbol for golden ratio, golden spiral.
Wow. I never saw that before. That's like that series you find in nature? Like the face of a sunflower?
Wherever the spirals.
You see this math everywhere.
Welcome to Gnostic Informant, and you are about to attain true gnosis. What is going on, guys?
What's up, dude? How you doing?
So we've seen the Odyssey now, and not only have we seen the Odyssey, we've had some time to sit and think about it. I did an initial thoughts after, like an hour after I got out, and so that was like a fresh off my mind. But I actually put that for what do you call it, members only, because I was like, I wanted to actually let it simmer for a week.
You ruminate on it, chew on it,
really think about it. Yeah, it was
regurgitate that cud and chew on it again. You know, that's what Nietzsche recommended. You gotta ruminate on things. You gotta eat it and then barf it up. Eat it, barf it up. You know what I mean? You let it go through all of the guts.
Let it fester a little.
Let it fester for sure. You know. It's been a long time coming though. I'm like actually stoked that this exists in the world now. You know what I mean? Like as much as like the Nietzschean in me absolutely hates everything about it, right? Like hates every single thing about it. The artist in me absolutely loved the movie. Like thought it was like absolutely 10 out of 10, stellar, like outstanding movie. And then the Discordian in me absolutely love the chaotic discourse around it, of this, all of the chuds outing themselves, all of the like pretend Christians like having egg on their face now because this movie that they said was hella woke is like this absolute woke piece of garbage turned out to be the most Christian possible movie that could have been made in the past 100 years. Like it's the closest thing to putting the Bible on the screen, dude. It's the most Christian shit I couldn't even imagine making a more Christian movie.
Yeah, you know who really loved this movie is like the Orthodox Catholic content creators, like the Jordan Peterson side of the internet. What's his name? I'm trying to think of the guy's name. He's a Catholic guy. I can look him up in a second, but he loved it. He was like, this was an actual Trojan horse against the liberals. That's what he said. Like,
yeah.
He said it was like, don't let the casting fool you. All the casting is a Trojan horse to get you to see that this is the son doing the will of the Father and all this stuff. He started giving all this Christian praise of it, and he's kind of right though, in a little bit of a sense, I think.
I mean, I would go even more.
Correct. think he's a little bit crass.
I would go even more Homeric with it and say that the casting, in particular, the casting of Elliot Page was a chaos apple. It was the golden apple that was thrown in to start the culture war on this whole thing.
I said that
right?
a year ago. I
Yeah,
told that
and
to Lev a year ago. I said, Lev, I was like, he's like, what do you? This movie's gonna suck, don't you think? I was like, no. I was like, I think he's doing all this crazy casting to get everyone to talk about it, and it's gonna be the biggest movie of the summer. And it was.
And it is. So
it was, and it did exactly what anybody who isn't a bigot thought it would do. You know what I mean? Like, it's only the bigots that have a problem with this fucking movie, right? Like, if you went into it with a premeditated mindset that, you know, you see a black person on the screen, you're gonna freak out, right? Or you see a trans person on the screen, you're gonna freak out. Like, anybody with a rational mind that's not upset about that wasn't upset about that at all, right? And like, it's that chaos apple that started the Trojan War, and Elliot Page was that chaos apple, and Nolan basically took the chaos apple, and instead of fucking writing "to the most beautiful," he spray farted "to the stupidest" and threw it into the MAGA chud Discord, and all of them fucking took a bite out of that apple. They licked it clean, dude. It's the stupidest possible discourse I could even imagine. And Eris was the goddess of discord. Like, that was your entire fucking purpose in this Greco pantheon, was to cause that kind of fucking thing. And she's the one who caused the war initially, right? Like, if you don't understand like the nuance, there is a Discordian on Nolan's writing, or in one of his advisors somewhere in there is a fan of Robert Anton Wilson. And it was so fucking evident to me the way that the chaotic, like, just, you know, the culture war behind the entire thing was. It was absolutely beautiful. And what it really did was, the leftists and liberals and, you know, anybody in, you know, between centrists or whatever, right? They weren't upset about it. It was these right wingers that just started fighting and bickering at each other. It was fucking neoconservatives and MAGA.
There were some people on the left that didn't like it that much, though. They're like, Mary Beard said it was a win for multiculturalism because of the casting,
right?
But she said it was an L for feminism.
And it wasn't. Yeah, but that's because.
Wait, why?
I don't know. I'm trying. I don't know exactly what her reason was, but like, what do you want? What do you want to do? It's the fucking Odyssey. You want to make Penelope cheat? I mean, that would just. I mean, like, that would be insane. You know what I mean?
Well, but she didn't. So, like, you know, that was part of that's part of the whole story, is that she didn't cheat for 20 years.
That's why she's saying it's an L for feminism, I guess, because oh, look at her, look at Penelope. She has no agency. She has to wait. But it's like, she wanted to wait, right?
Yeah. Would the win be that the slave girls got hung? Would that be a fucking win for liberalism? Because they kept that out.
Yeah, they cut that out. That's a modernization of the film that we're seeing there.
Which
also
is
a Christianization of it. Forgiveness.
Yes, absolutely.
Exactly.
Yes.
So
it's a forgiveness.
So, you know, the pagan world was you get your revenge with justice revenge, not unjust revenge. You get just revenge, right? That was part of the and that's Rex Talionis in Latin, eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth in Near Eastern law codes. That was the way of the world before the Christianization, I guess you will. Before, or maybe before I should say the Platonization of the world. I think it's a better way to say it.
Helen of Troy is the daughter of Nemesis. I mean, how much more do you need to know about that? It's all about justice. It's all about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's another thing. The Christians were saying that the law of Zeus thing, that's a Christian thing.
Yeah, dude, so dumb.
It is, but it isn't. Let me explain.
Yeah.
It is because the movie really emphasized the law of Zeus at every corner.
Yep.
Whereas Homer brings it up in certain contexts. Yes, there is the law of Xenia, the law that you treat strangers well because it might be a god. That is a thing that goes back to Homer. But the way the film employed it was more of a Christian, treat your neighbors how you want to be treated. They definitely give it a little bit of spin. You know what I mean? There's definitely, you can just feel it. You can just tell.
Yeah, they took the what did Nietzsche say the Christians did? They took eros and turned it into a poison. You know, it's like they took all of the like the potency of the story and just castrated the entire fucking thing, dude. You know, they castrated Odysseus, and that's just like that's going to be in the pantheon forever now. It's good. That's in the record forever now. Is that there's this castrated Odysseus, you know, hanging out on top of everything, right? And the thing is that like it makes sense within the world that was created for the movie itself, right? It doesn't break. Like it doesn't have any logical inconsistencies. It doesn't have any it's well done in that way. It's the hell's the technical term for that? Starts with an L. Oh, son of a bitch! Why am I blanking on it? Christians. There's a word for not breaking the continuity within your actual world that you're creating for a piece of art. Christians use it to verisimilitude. That's the word I'm looking for. So it doesn't break verisimilitude, right? The Nolan's Odyssey, which is why it makes sense within the entire canon of the entirety of the canon, right? Like that's why you're seeing him pull from the Aeneid. You're seeing him pull from that painting of the dude that ate of Kronos eating his son, Saturn eating his son, right? That's that imagery, right? We benefit from that now. He took that and put that on the screen in the Cyclops situation. You know what I mean? Like there's all of this, the entire Nolan's pulling from the entire 3,000 years of the tradition, right? And all of the discourse on it and stuff, not just representing what they would have said in the fucking, if you were a bard sitting around in Greece somewhere listening to the song, right? And even then, right?
Modernizing too.
Yeah, but even then, there's not a problem with doing that because that's what the first 10 lines of the book tell you to do, especially that particular last line, right? The first 10 lines for I guess if somebody in the audience doesn't know, the first 10 lines, the invocation of the muse, right? Most translations, and I actually sat down and read a few translations side by side. Up until you get to the very last line where he says, goddess, daughter of Zeus, something, bring the story. It's 3 words that literally translate to tell it to us too, right? For us too, right? Us as well, right? But fucking the amount of variance and the amount of interpretation as to what it takes to put those 3 little Greek words into English, like you have to have, like you can't just put it into 3 words. It's like an entire concept of the usness that was meant by that invocation, right? And I think Emily Wilson does a great job at putting that concept into words that's pretty simple. She says, "Tell it for our modern times." Right? Tell it for our modern times. That's her translation and put into, the pentameter or the meter that she was working in for the translation. The literal translation in Greek is for us as well, like for us as well. Yeah. Right. And you're better at the Greek, so you'd be able to look at those actual words there and know it. And I asked Cross Bible.
Maybe I should pull up the Odyssey first.
Yeah, and just the first 10 lines, and it's that very little last segment on there. And I asked a couple of people, who know Greek and French, and I said, hey, can you take a look at like the translations in French and see like is this phenomenon also existent in French? And a couple of my buddies in philosophy, various philosophy discords, they got back to me like, yeah, actually it's the same thing in Greek or in English, from the Greek to the English is present from the Greek to the French. So it's this thing that just quite doesn't communicate outside of the Greek, right? And it's just 3 little words. And it basically means like, tell the story for everybody in the room right now in a way that they can understand. You know what I mean? Like, because if they were telling it exactly the same, they would be saying it in a different language that you just don't fucking understand. So you just see talking to this in this random language to these people who have no relation to the story, and you're just like, what the hell is this guy over in the corner rambling about, stamping a thing on the table or dancing in a circle? Like, what the fuck's going on, right? So the invocation literally tells you to say it so that we can understand. It's like it gives you the allowance to put your own spin on it, right? And that's been the tradition forever, right? You have this expansion and this contraction phenomenon that, you know, as these bards would be singing these songs, if your audience kind of seems bored, you would contract the story and start moving on to a next one, right? And that phenomenon is actually evident throughout the Odyssey, particularly in Book 11, my favorite book of the Odyssey, where Odysseus basically says, like, he stops the story and says to the king, I can't remember the king's name off the top of my head. He goes, hey, you know, I've been going on for a while. Like, if you need me to shorten it up, like, you know, let me know. And he goes, no, keep going, right? Like, expand the story. He's like the guy over in the corner saying, stretch it out, keep going, right? Because that was like the reality of these bards and the occupation of these bards that were telling these stories, where like you were there to entertain the people. And if it's not entertaining, shorten it, move it to something that, you know, your audience might find more entertaining, right? They didn't, you know, the bards weren't telling the entire story start to finish. The invocation tells you to start wherever. Just fucking start. Just start from somewhere, right?
Yeah.
And and then it says, and do it in a way that these people can understand. It's very fucking interesting. So when you get these chuds saying you can't change the story, they modernize it, blah blah blah. It's like, that's what the fucking story tells you to do at the beginning of the story. That's the invocation, right? Like, if you have a communion with the muse, you have the allowance to change the story because that's what the muse is delivering to you. You know what I mean?
I can see it both ways. I can see trying to adapt the Odyssey and trying to adapt an ancient version of the Odyssey. But I can also see what Nolan was doing, and I don't really have a problem with Nolan doing, writing and adapting his own Odyssey. Basically, he's telling the Odyssey, and he's telling you that he's modernizing it. He's not trying to change accents, or you got people speaking just straight up Boston English. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, you got what's his name? What's the rapper's name? Who's one
Travis
of the suitors?
Scott.
You get Travis Scott chilling as one of the suitors.
Well, Travis Scott was actually a bard. Travis Scott was a bard.
Yeah, it opens with Travis Scott.
It's not trying to be ancient, so it's
but Neil, the Travis Scott reference is actually super. It's a reference to something super duper ancient. So remember Travis Scott? He stands up on the table and he has the that stick.
No,
right?
I think he's just trying to say rappers today are black. That's what he's trying to do.
Well, no, but I'm saying what actually, yeah, he's a rhapsodist. But I'm saying is that what if you look at what actually happens in the film, he stands up on the table and he goes boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, you were telling me about this.
Boom,
yeah, that's
boom, boom.
Hexameter.
He does the hexameter. He pounds out the hexameter, and that's how the movie begins. Is a reference to the hex to the meter that it was. Yeah,
but he's doing it with a modern rapper. That's the thing. Yeah. He's modernizing it.
I know. But he's also taking.
You know what I mean?
He's taking something like modern and also adding this very, very old reference. He's introducing the entire film with the meter that the story would have been told in. Right? Boom, boom, boom. That's so fucking cool. And I haven't seen a lot of people talk about that, dude. It's gone over a lot of people's fucking heads. That was what his purpose was, is to establish and represent the Homeric meter and represent the bard that is doing this invocation. Pretty fucking cool, man. Like,
right. And he's telling you right off the bat, this is a modern telling. I'm literally using Travis Scott, a modern rapper, to tell a rhapsody of Homer. So you're not, if you're sitting there watching it and taking notes on historical accuracy, you might as well just walk out, because it's not meant to do that.
Yeah, that was never the point of it.
Once you establish that, once you accept that, you rate the film based on what Nolan's trying to do. He's making a modern film. He's retelling the Odyssey in a modern way. That's what he's doing.
Well, like the book tells you to do. Tell the story for the people that are listening to the story in a way that they can understand. That's what that, Yeah,
but you don't have to tell it in a modern way. You can tell it if you wanted to. You could try, like there is other Odysseys from previous decades. I want to say there's one in the 90s.
Yeah.
And they're trying to stick with, you know, classical period armor. They're trying to, like, you can do that, but I'm just saying Nolan is very clear. This is a modern thing. This is not. I'm not sticking to the script here.
Yeah,
you know
and you know, as much as I'll give Nolan a hard time for Christianizing the story, I will still say, as a good Nietzschean, I recognize that the muse was speaking through him. Right, the muse spoke through him in this. The muse delivered, right, and the muse delivered exactly the way that invocation tells you to deliver. Right, it was fucking brilliant. It was a very well done story. Right, like I know the story walking in, and I thought it was still brilliant, right? Like I was like, well, he left this out, he left that out, he left this out. You know, it's like so what? Like he established his own universe and he didn't break that universe. That's important when it comes to making a piece of art, you know?
Yeah.
But I think he's making a bigger universe, right?
He's extending the universe, which is part of the. I mean,
I think this is just an introduction to like maybe a bigger project.
Well, I mean, the Homeric thing as itself is like it's such a large project, and so many people over the past 3,000 years have contributed to it. Look at how many.
Well, there's a version. There's a version of the Odyssey where Penelope does cheat.
Yeah.
So this is I was trying to tell people this, like the idea that you have to tell the story. You can look, if you want to do that, fine. There's a place for that. You can try to make the perfect Homer Odyssey based on the original, whatever that means. Get all Greek actors, 100%, everyone from Greece. Sure. You can do that. But it's not how historically people have always trying to. I mean, Hey Brother, what's it called? Hey Brother, How Art Thou? Is that the name of the movie with Oh Brother, Art Thou?
Brother, Where Art Thou? Brother, Where Art Thou? Yeah, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Yeah,
that's actually an Odyssey readaptation if you think about it.
Yeah,
did you know that?
Yeah, the SpongeBob movie is an Odyssey readaptation, and I think that's one of the best versions.
And that would be taking it to such a high extreme that you're not even Odysseus is not even a character anymore. You just have the plot skeleton there, kind of. So that would be like an extreme retelling, and then you can have an extreme adaptation where you're trying to stick with 100% Greek actors. Homer said that this girl had white skin. We're gonna give her white skin. Homer said that it happened here. It happened here. Homer said this character said. You can try to do that, but then there's a middle ground too. Right. I think no one's trying to stick in that middle ground. He's changing things. He's readapting things, and he's also trying to stick. He's trying to stay loyal to some of this stuff too.
Yeah, and the stuff that he stayed loyal to.
You have a version of Homer where Penelope literally cheats on Odysseus and gives birth to the god Pan.
Yeah, she takes the no loads. Yeah, she just takes loads from all of them, and then the god Pan comes out. That's fucking great.
And guess what? Ancient Chuds were pissed about it.
Yeah, of course they were.
There are Platonist authors who are disgusted. Yeah. I think Maximus of Tyre is one of them. I think he's one of them, if I'm not mistaken.
Who's that?
There's a Platonist author from like 2nd century AD, 100 AD, and he was. I think it's Maximus of Tyre, if I'm not mistaken. It might be someone else, but I could find it. I could probably pull it up, and he talks about this story, and he was like, "This is a disgrace to Homer. Whoever said this is blasphemy."
Right.
Well, I mean,
whatever. That's his opinion.
But at the same time, we could have spent 8 years of him fucking a nymph on an island. Like, what do you want? Like eating fucking drugs. Like dude, that would have been the whole movie.
It could have been a 3-hour
Odysseus cheats on Penelope mad times in the original.
Yeah, dude. It could have been a 3-hour fucking porno.
I mean, in the Greek world, that's just the males. I mean, they just did that kind of thing, and it's just kind of just the way it was.
Well, we
feel different about it today because of Christianity. That's the Christianity is so brainwashed. We all think, you have to stay with one person forever. You know what I mean?
It's that that family values.
I'm not saying marriage and family wasn't a thing in pagan world. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying there was a different attitude towards the man of the house. If they were gone for 20 years, they're going to do some shit. and that's just the way it was. Classical times, different time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but also, you know, you got to remember that it's Odysseus telling the story to a room full of men, right? Like it's basically Odysseus telling a big fish story. So obviously, every single time he tells a story, he's gonna, oh yeah, and then I fucked her. Oh, you know, what I mean, you got to think of Odysseus trying to like,
well, no, it's not
tell
Odysseus,
the story
it's
too.
Homer's the one saying it.
No, Odysseus is the one telling the story at the banquet about, you know, all of the women that he fucked and all of the people that he ran into, right? Odysseus' backstory is told by Odysseus. That's the entire unreliable narrative or narrator situation.
Yeah, but that's not in the movie, though.
Not in the movie, right?
The,
but in the original, it's Odysseus is the one who's giving these big fish stories about all of these women that he fucked. And it just keeps increasing, like, oh, I fucked this lady and I fucked her and then I fucked this lady for 7 years. And it's like Odysseus is the one telling you that he fucked her, right? If you change the way that in the audience that Odysseus is telling the story to, he's going to change the way that he tells the story. Like that's the point of the storytelling back in the day. So in Nolan's version, it's coming back as flashbacks, like drug-induced flashbacks, and it's Calypso is the one.
I think it's a better way to do it, though.
I agree. Yeah,
for the film,
you're watching on film, so it's like
exactly
the flashback instead of having him talk. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And it's instead of him telling it at a banquet and then just reciting these like stories about how many fucking ladies he fucked or whatever, it's like no, like it's coming back as these flashbacks because he wasn't remembering, right? So the things that are left out, there's a built-in excuse for those things being left out. Odysseus didn't remember them yet. Like he didn't remember that, right? He remembered enough to build the raft and get off the island, right? That's like the whole thing, right? And the whole like that's where the whole PTSD kind of thing is coming from, is because it's his war flashbacks, right? Which is, I don't know if you know anybody who has PTSD from a war or whatever, but like these fever, bad dreams where you're waking up and you have these flashbacks and all, like that's a real phenomenon for people.
When I was thinking about that, people were getting mad about the PTSD thing, like, oh, this is like some woke shit.
It's not at all.
Real.
No.
It's real.
It's real.
It's real. When the guys,
I know people who got their arms blown off in war, who all their best friends that they were living with for however long they were Marines for, all dead. Like I literally know my friend Paul, who's fucked up now. His life will never be good. And like that shit is real. Like, and it didn't just become a new thing in this modern world.
No, it didn't. Not at all.
It's like, did Homer really correctly? Did Homer like portray PTSD the way we would do? No, but like if you're doing a modern retelling of the Odyssey, I get what he's trying to do there.
They cry every time they kill somebody. You know what I mean? They cry the fucking time. There's no crying in this movie.
Odyssey, and especially Iliad, is gory. It is people getting killed, and Homer describing it. The spear went through his neck, and as his blood leaked out, he lost he faded to black.
Yep, he faded to black. Yep, the black covered his eyes.
Crazy descriptions of, and then like, his a mother will never see her son again. Like that. Like it's not Homer. Look, this I was arguing with people online about this. People were like, "Oh, they're trying to say war is bad." Well, Homer is not saying war is good either.
No, it's not a glorification of war at all. Metatron is fucking wrong. He's so wrong. God damn it, he's so wrong. I'm so fucking mad at Metatron. I fell asleep listening to him.
You have this concept of kleos in Greek.
Yes. Yeah.
Which is glory. And let me just share something real quick.
Because after you're done sharing, I got a couple
things. I want to be super nuanced on this. On this. It is true that Homer really does portray these characters in a way where he gives them glory, especially Odysseus, especially Achilles, for example. But that doesn't mean war good.
No.
It means glory is good. because war is just a necessary part of life.
Right.
So war is not good. War is, I'm not even going to say bad or good. I'm just saying war happens.
But at the time that allegedly this was going on, you know what I mean? Like in the ancient world, war was always happening, and it still is happening.
Yeah, war was always happening. Exactly. War is just, I'm not even saying it's good or bad. It's not good. And I'm not even going to say bad either. I'm just saying it just is it's just part of the world. Glory is definitely is a real aspect of the ancient Greek world. People did strive for glory. They wanted to be famous. They wanted to be written about like Achilles. That is true. But that's different than saying war is good. It's very different than saying war is good. And I think Homer is the best to describe that. This is one of the things I'm mad about the movie. Homer, when he depicts Odysseus going to Hades and he meets Achilles, the greatest warrior ever, and Achilles is weeping and he's a shell of his former self, and he wishes he can just have a minute back in the real world. He said, what does he say? He says,
I'll be a slave
if I can just be a worker of a slave or whatever, a servant of a farmer or something for a day, I would rather have that than be a king of all the warriors in Hades or something.
Yep.
And that is, in a way, what Homer's saying is glory is great. Achilles is going to be famous forever. That's great. Good for Achilles. But Achilles isn't going to it doesn't matter to Achilles anymore. He's in Hades now. It doesn't do anything for him. He's still a shade. So it is trying to tell you to pump your brakes on glory a little bit. It's a little overinflated. That's my reading of it. Lucan would agree with me. Not Lucian, Lucan, the Latin poet who wrote the Pharsalia.
Yep.
And he wrote the Pharsalia in dactylic hexameter as like a new kind of like a new Odyssey or a new Iliad, new Homeric. He's writing it in the style of Homer, but he's writing about current events. He's writing about Pompey and Caesar. And Lucan is even more explicit about the painful struggles of war, about the destruction of war, how it's ripping apart all of the Roman society, how like he's literally talking about it in a negative light. More than Homer, even more than Homer, and even Lucan is giving glory to Caesar and Pompey and all that stuff. Glory's still there, but he's also telling you, children or sons are not going home to their mothers, wives will not see their husbands. This is fucking reality, dude. This is dark. This is a dark reality. War is a dark reality.
Yep. Neil, can I share my screen here for a second? I got a couple of things to show you about how far back this discourse on PTSD and the Odyssey goes. Right. Check this out. Carl Jung. Right. Or, Carl Jung. If you're going to tell me that this mental illness stuff in the
By the
Odyssey,
way, thank you for all the jewels. Just want to say that real quick. Thanks for
whatever
the
the hell those are. I don't know what those things are.
I don't know what they are, but I appreciate it.
Cool. Thanks, guys. I don't know what they are. But yeah, check this out. I mean, I know you like Carl Jung, but Carl Jung talked about Odysseus as the wounded hero or wounded healer archetype, right? So this whole discourse about you have to, if you're the type of person who if you can heal yourself, then it makes you more able to heal other people. And totally. Carl Jung was a psychiatrist, right? They didn't have the word PTSD back then, but Carl Jung is putting this concept into his own words, right? There's this other guy here. His name's Jonathan Shea. You ever heard, or shit? Why is it not sharing, Johnny? How do I do this?
Oh, you gotta change it. Reshare it.
Oh, I gotta share it over there.
Turn that one off. I got 3 buttons.
Stop screen.
Stop
weird.
screen.
And then click on this one.
Yep.
Share screen.
Yep.
And then pull up this one here.
Yeah, you're sharing a tab, not a screen.
Okay, sorry, I didn't know that.
No,
I thought I could flip tabs over here. Okay, can you see this now? Is this working?
Yep.
Okay, check this out. So Jonathan Shea, he's literally like the leading psychiatrist that dealing with veteran affairs and all that. And he wrote 2 books about PTSD in the Homeric. He did one in 1994. He wrote about the Iliad and Vietnam War, combat trauma, right? 1994. And then he wrote another one here about the Odyssey in 2002. Neil, remember year 2002?
Yeah, I do.
It wasn't woke back in 2002, right?
Kind of.
No,
it was not. No, you could still say gay, you could still say retard, you could still say all sorts of stuff.
That was like the South Park height years.
Exactly.
You
so
can
during
still say those now.
Yeah. Oh, you can still say them. Neil dropped a
no,
really
it's back
hard
now. No, there
there
was a period from like 2016 to 2020 where you couldn't say any of that stuff anymore.
Yeah,
but it's back now. It's back now.
So you're never gonna guess. I'll give you 3 guesses. Who do you think wrote the foreword to Jonathan Shea's book, The Odyssey? This is in 2002, so I don't think he would have written the foreword in 2002.
Okay,
in 2002, in 2002, who do you think wrote the foreword to this guy's book?
I have no idea. How the hell did I know?
Motherfucking John McCain.
John McCain.
Warhawk.
Yeah, dude. Bomb, Iran.
Fucking...
John McCain wrote the foreword to this book about PTSD in the Odyssey.
Also a war prisoner, right?
Let me check it out. How do I?
Should I be happy about that?
Well, no, I'm just. Well, that's what I'm saying is that I'm showing you that it's not woke. This discourse has nothing to do with wokeness.
Gotcha.
Right. This is right-wing discourse, and it's always been right-wing discourse. Right. It goes back from Carl Jung. No one's going to tell me Carl Jung was woke. Carl Jung was a Nazi, right? Fucking John McCain was a war criminal.
Yeah.
What was that?
Carl Jung gets called a Nazi. Yeah. He gets called a Nazi sympathizer.
He was a Nazi sympathizer, which is good.
He's fucking Carl Jung. He sympathizes with every fucking person.
That's what I'm saying. He's a
psychologist or psychiatrist. He can see he understands everyone. Yes. He understands how you got to this headspace. I get it. I can see it. Like, that's Carl Jung. He's supposed to be a fucking Nazi sympathizer.
How do I get rid of this?
You know what I mean?
Stop screen.
Yep.
Yeah, check it out. I'll pull up the this one here so you can see it. Click on that there.
Look at you.
Share screen.
You got
Amazon.
Nice.
Boom. Check it out. So this is the Amazon page here. Look at that right there. John McCain wrote the foreword to this fucking book, dude. And also Senator Max Cleland. He was fucking I think he was a Clinton guy.
I was gonna say what the name sounds
he was a Democrat, but he's the guy who had his legs blown off and he was missing an arm. Remember, he would roll around in the
yeah. So pretty much a conservative.
That's what I'm saying, right? None of this is woke discourse. So people
politics in the 90s would be conservative today.
Absolutely. A Democrat in the 90s.
The left kind of moved over a little bit more. Yeah.
Exactly, dude. So, like there's that old saying that like no matter who you vote for, you end up getting John McCain. And we got John we ended up getting fucking John McCain's Odysseus.
You end up in a war in Iraq.
That's what exactly. Right. You end
up in a war in Babylon.
Exactly, dude. And
no matter who you vote for, it doesn't matter. We're gonna go to war.
Exactly, dude. No matter who you vote for, you're getting John McCain. And fucking Nolan went and put John McCain's Odysseus on screen, and everybody, all of the right wingers, freaked the fuck out about it.
I think they're about the same age. That would make sense. They're about the same age.
Nolan's a conservative. 80. Like no one.
He's almost 80, right?
Yeah. No, that's another thing. Do you guys know? Let me show you something.
There's that clip about the clip of Nolan saying that his inspiration comes from his being a Catholic. Like
the scene or being okay. Dark Knight Rises is not liberal.
No,
it is. I'm not going to say it's hardcore right wing either, but there is some anti-Marxist overtones going on.
It's anti-leftist.
Dark Knight Rises.
It's anti-leftist.
Bane is the Marxist evil bad guy, and the way that you can tell by his speech. I'll prove it to you right now. I'll prove it to you right fucking now. If you have any doubts what I'm saying, just watch this clip. Actually, we're probably gonna need a clip for. You know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna play the clip, and if it dings me, it dings me. Hopefully, you get some super chats. We'll make up for it. So, anyone watching, appreciate the super chats. Because this is so relevant. We got to watch this.
I think you can watch like X amount of time, then pause and talk. Then
we're doing commentary.
Like 20 seconds, and I'll pause it.
I think it's 20 seconds.
Yeah, 15 or 20.
Hey.
All right, here we go. Can you hear this? All right, hold on.
Yep. Oh, this is when the Pittsburgh Steelers fucking were.
Yeah, I got to go to a specific scene where he's giving a speech. Wait, is this the right one? Hold on, it's not the right one. Keep talking.
Yeah, that's the Pittsburgh Steelers scene where they had all the old school dudes and Ben Roethlisberger is. I love football. Sorry, and they used them and they used the actual stadium as like a scene and they did all this crazy shit. And
here we go.
He used
the actual scene now.
An actual football,
Yeah, they actually did film something like in the Pittsburgh Steelers, right?
In the stadium, yeah.
In this scene, okay.
They used part of the team too.
I think I hope it is. Yes.
Behind you stands a symbol of oppression.
Okay. Behind you is the symbol of oppression. Who would say that? An evil Nazi? Do you think an evil Nazi would say the symbol of oppression? Maybe.
No,
actually,
no.
I don't know. Maybe no. But you get my point, right? This is not okay. This is a Marxist. It's very clear. Let's keep going. I'm gonna pause.
Bane is supposed to represent that like Marxist anarchist thing.
He's the anarchist Marxist type of guy.
Yeah, he take over the city and give it to the people.
1,000 men have languished.
See, he's speaking to the prisoners, the lowlies of the society, the proletariat.
Under the name of this man, Harvey Dent.
Harvey Dent is the bourgeoisie, right?
Yep. Exactly.
Who has been held up to you as the shining example of justice.
We're just going to keep moving you till we can get you in front of the camera.
You have been supplied with a false idol to stop you.
Right?
Yep.
All that corrupt city. Let me tell you the truth about Harvey Dent from the words of Gotham's police commissioner, James Gordon.
What the
and
fuck
there's
did
sort
he
of
say?
you could kind of make the argument there's the defund the police rhetoric going on, right? Or maybe not. Maybe this is before that. But I'm just gonna give it a pause and give it some commentary so we don't get dinged.
The Batman didn't murder Harvey Dent. He saved my boy.
And remember who Batman is. He's the billionaire who owns all the wealth, and he's
the trust fund baby.
Man, yeah, Batman is the. This is not. I'm telling you, this is an anti-leftist movie.
I never got this from that ever until you said that. Now this is very interesting.
Batman is the wealthiest. He's from what's the name of his father's company? What's the name of Batman's father's company? Bruce Wayne Enterprises.
Wayne Enterprises.
Yeah, he's a billionaire.
Yeah.
I then took the blame for Harvey's appalling crimes so that I could, to my shame, build a lie around this fallen idol. I praised the madman who tried to murder my own child. But I can no longer live with my lie. It is time to trust the people of Gotham with the truth.
You go, trust the people. This is it's very clear what Bane is trying to do here and what Nolan is trying to show Bane as. This is very different than the Bane of the comics. You know what I mean? We're trying to pick apart the brain. Remember, we're here for Nolan right now. This is a Nolan review. And I'm trying to show my purpose here is trying to show people Nolan is not your average leftist Hollywood director.
Yeah, Nolan's not a.
And it is time.
Go ahead.
Nolan's a conservative, a Christian conservative, and all of his films are Christian conservative, anti-leftist, anti-communist films, right? Like
even Interstellar.
Interstellar is about like God, like everything. Like it's about
what?
You never watched Interstellar?
I watch it all the time. I've never had that.
In the end, he goes back and he can see his daughter, and it's like
they
find out that the black hole is like
I
don't know. It's been a while since I've seen it, but there was something to do with God, right? I never
caught that.
It was like predetermined. Everything was predetermined. He was meant to go there.
Oh, the predeterminism
and then
shit.
He comes
Okay,
back.
yeah,
His daughter he can like give her a sign from the future or something.
Yeah, right,
That's Christian shit. Like that's very.
Oh,
I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no, I went straight for the science side of that.
Yeah.
And do you accept this man's resignation? And do you accept the resignation of all of these liars? Of all.
See who all got riled up by that? It wasn't the millionaires. It wasn't the capitalists, corporatists getting riled up. It was the people in the prisons, dude. You know?
The corrupt.
Those men locked up for 8 years in Blackgate.
Here, I'm gonna skip ahead just a little bit because the part that I don't want to spend too much time on. The part that I really want people to see though is where is it when they show the? Yes, they have it. Perfect. Here we go. Watch this.
Spoils will be enjoyed. Cast out into the cold world that we know and endure.
They're ripping out all these people wearing really nice outfits and taking them out of their Fifth Avenue, one of the richest places in New York, right?
Yeah,
this is an uprising. This is a Marxist uprising.
Yeah, it's an allegory for the French.
Yeah,
it's an allegory for the French War.
Will be convened. Spoils will be enjoyed.
Spoils will be enjoyed. We're going to redistribute the wealth. That was extremely on the nail there.
Yep.
Blood will be shed.
Blood will be shed. That's obviously, you know.
The police will survive.
The police will survive. Watch this.
They learn to serve true justice.
When they learn to serve true justice.
Yeah, and it's always been a liberal or a leftist talking point that the police are the servants of capital. They're there to protect capital, right? This has always been like every anarchist, every Marxist will tell you that.
Yeah.
This great city, it will endure.
Notice what Nolan just did right there. He's basically saying what Nolan did right there is so subtle, but slick. Because look what they're showing you when he says the word endure. Let's watch that again. When he says something, he says, listen to what he says.
This great city, it will endure.
It wasn't even finished saying the word endure yet. And the camera pans over to a ticking time bomb. What is Nolan trying to say? He's saying that Marxist messaging that you hear about how great it's all going to be and we're all going to endure and everything, we're going to uprise and we're going to take over. That's a ticking time bomb waiting to explode, and it's a lie. He's saying Bane is lying to you. It's not a real. Don't listen to this message. It's a lie. It's a ticking time bomb. Nolan is an anti. He's conservative. This is a conservative director right here.
Absolutely. And the Odyssey that we got was a conservative film. Yeah. I want to show you how incapable some people are.
Your comments are fucking
dude. Your audience is some people are so stupid. It blows my mind. I want to show you one comment here.
What are they saying?
Hadley Shope 401 924. This person here is such a whoever the fuck they are is so fucking stupid, right? That they can't comprehend that John McCain writing the foreword to a fucking book about trauma. Like, this is right-wing discourse. It has always been right-wing discourse. And you're going to say, oh, the movie was woke as fuck. Like, you're fucking stupid. You are a stupid person.
I don't see how it would go.
It's the movie's not fucking woke, and the discourse has never been woke,
it's
dude.
because you have a black person and a trans person.
That's
a black person and a trans person. That makes it woke.
That's really what it is, and that's what makes it to them.
Right.
I don't know if this person even seen the movie or not. To
Most
them, that's all that matters.
Or they probably also haven't read the book.
I'm not going to sit there and judge a movie just by the casting. I can't do that. It's just not in my nature to do that. If that's how you are, you're not that. You don't have a lot of depth to your thinking.
Yeah,
and I want to be clear about this. I don't care about people being upset about the casting. There's good arguments to be made. I have a friend of mine who's Greek, my friend Homer, who thinks that they should have casted Greeks. He's absolutely right.
Yeah,
that's fine.
In some sense that makes sense, but
it doesn't make you a racist to criticize casting. But if that's all you can think about is he casted this person, I can't see it, and you're tweaking out over that, there's not a lot of depth to your thinking.
Yeah.
You're not even ready to even think about concepts deeper than that.
But this is a summer blockbuster movie. Like, you can't. What the fuck are you?
Can you put the comment back up 1 second?
What are you exactly? What are you expecting? What are you expecting from the biggest Hollywood movie of 2020?
Shot on a fucking special camera.
To you, and just make it so you like it. Like, it's not gonna work. We live in a different time now, and I'm not saying that you should shut up and get with the times. I'm not telling you that.
This is why I fell asleep watching Metatron last night. I was like, "What the fuck, bro?"
Also, be real about things. Be an adult about some of these things. Sometimes that's all I'm saying.
So I want to give some context for this person in particular. I'm a professional clown. Like, I went to clown school. People pay me to do clownery. Like, you're literally talking to a clown. And Neil and I had a pretend debate on another channel where I was dressed up like a fucking clown, right? These people don't understand the depth and the background of the dialogue that's going on here. Or yeah, I'm literally a clown. So using the word, these guys are utter clowns. Like, yeah, I'm a clown. I'm a satirist. I'm a comedian, right? Like, I'm giving you actual good literary theory, and you're calling me a clown as though that's an insult. Like, what is wrong with you?
This person doesn't understand. This person doesn't know that. I almost don't even want to. Yeah, the phrase is you argue with fools, you look like a fool too.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
I've been getting this critique a lot lately because I'm dealing with the Ammonites. They're like, dude, everyone knows they're wrong. Like, everyone knows they're not.
Hold on. Only one of us here is a battle rapper, and I will tell you, sometimes you have to say that shit in a battle to get them to respond. Yeah. That's the point.
The retard word?
No, you just have to say you have to say already what they're thinking. I'm just saying, like,
New York, where we all say fag.
Oh yeah.
It just comes out sometimes. I don't even realize it sometimes.
We used to play a game in football. You can't even say the name anymore, what it was called, and it's that's the world we grew up in the 90s. This person is either a troll, isn't real, or is a.
Well, the problem is
not about depth to their thinking. If you think, because this is actually a well-known thing about Nolan, that Nolan is center right.
I did not know that going into it. I had no idea.
I'm not saying he's hardcore right-wing race realist or any of that stuff. He's far from that. Yeah. He's not a leftist, is all I'm trying to tell you. And he's got a lot of anti-socialist messages in his works.
He's a Bush-era neocon. He's a Bush-era neocon. That you got John McCain. He's John McCain. Yeah, that's right. He's John McCain with an English accent, dude. That's all you're getting. And we gave John McCain with an English accent.
It's interesting he drops this movie this year during the war. We're having a war with Iran. This is an interesting time.
It's been planned for years, obviously, right? Like,
so it just happened.
Exactly. Hold on. He's only 55 years old.
Yes,
I had no idea.
He's a Bush era fucking neocon. Like,
holy shit.
He's the same type of guy that was listening to Rush Limbaugh in the 90s and getting upset about fucking Hillary Clinton, and it's just it's not radical. It's also not radically right wing either, and you wouldn't expect that from a Bush era neocon. I wouldn't be
surprised if he was like pro-Israel or something. Maybe not like a full-blown Zionist, but something toward that. I wouldn't be surprised if no one was.
One of the things that I find like extremely like funny about the right-wing chud brain and like the paranoid conspiracy theory brain is that they think the Jews run Hollywood, right? If the Jews ran Hollywood, we wouldn't have a circumcised Odysseus. We'd have a circumcised Odysseus. We wouldn't have a castrated Odysseus, right? Like you didn't get circumcised Odysseus, so the Jews don't run Hollywood. You fucks, like you're dumb, like you're stupid. The Christians run Hollywood. They always have. Like that's like you're dumb.
It's the Jews.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a coincidence that Ayn Rand went from Russia to Hollywood and changed her name from Rosenbaum to
there is
Rand.
There is a huge Christian faction in Hollywood. There is definitely it's always been that way. Like Mel Gibson, for example.
That's what I'm saying. Like all of the
big Hollywood director.
Yeah, there's all of these.
I'm not even telling you he's not a Hollywood director. He's a Hollywood director, Mel Gibson.
Yeah, all of these movies, they are just riddled with Christian morality, right? And I'm looking, I'm like, where's the Judaism in this? Like if there was Jewish stuff in here, this would be fucking cool, right? There would be an interesting commentary going on, but there isn't any.
It's the same morality though. Judaism, Christianity. I mean, it's the same morality.
Right. But it's a different. The Judaism derives from paganism. It's it's just it's a mild form of paganism. When it started, it wasn't just one.
Yeah,
they had a pantheon of gods. You know what I mean? And the pantheon of gods is still maintained in the book.
Sense, it's their version of paganism, but but it's not anymore. Like now Judaism transcends paganism because of Christianity, for one.
Because of Christianity, exactly.
That's kind of what, and that's it. That's the answer. It's because of Christianity.
It's because of Christianity.
If it wasn't for Christianity, Judaism would just be another pagan group over there.
Exactly, dude. It would be our regional god is Yahweh, and then if you have travelers and they come through and they go, "Oh, God, your Yahweh sounds a lot like Poseidon." Your Yahweh sounds a lot like Poseidon. That's cool. Like, oh, you guys have a Dionysus too? That's fun. It's like the whole thing. Yeah, and that's and recontextualizing Judaism within its Mediterranean fucking existence, like great. You know what I mean?
Ben Shapiro loved this movie. This is proving our point.
I told you this morning when we talked on the phone.
I was like, he loved the movie.
Yeah, Judeo-Christianized version of the Odyssey.
Exactly, dude.
Should we pull that up?
Dude, pull up.
Yeah,
Ben
he loved it because there's no mentions of fucking any other gods other than Zeus. And
is that what he said? I haven't seen it. I
fell asleep watching it last night. I was like, "This."
What's the name of the video? Ben Shapiro.
Odyssey is the
Ben
greatest.
Shapiro Odyssey review. It'll come up.
He did two of them, right? One he was like one was like a week ago, and then another one was the second. But he did two like versions and had to walk back some shit.
Is it from 6 days ago?
The 6 days ago is like pretty on the nose, and then he walked back a bunch of shit on the next one.
That's the one right there.
This is the original one we're gonna watch.
Yeah, watch this one because, dude, it's like he perfectly fucking like explains it, and this is a fucking culture war fucking warrior guy. Like he's all up in arms about it.
The time has.
He's like one of the most hated people right now, probably on the planet.
Well, yeah,
same haircut.
Yeah,
for good reasons.
He's a fucking exactly.
All right. Well, so let's play.
We are going to review the Odyssey. I saw it in IMAX, and I have many, many thoughts. This video is sponsored by our friends over at PDS Dev.
Ben Shapiro as Odysseus. That's the whole movie, dude. Here we go. I'm already,
dude. The Metatron uses.
We just gotta circumcise out Odysseus, just like I asked for.
There it is.
There you go.
Alrighty, so I want to begin with the overall. Amazing. On a scale 1 to 10, where does this movie lie? Somewhere for me between an 8.5 and a 9. It's really, really, really good. It's a terrific movie, and believe you me, I'm going to get into all of the politics.
Wait, what do we give it? I don't know if I'd give it that high.
What do I give it?
I like the look. I'm going to say this. I like the movie because it's Nolan and because he's just the master at picture. The sound was really bad though.
Yeah,
remember the part. I think we should do our ratings before we even play this because we haven't even done that yet, and we're already an hour in.
Yeah, right. We're just having a good time.
When they stab the what's it called? What's it called again? The one-eyed
Cyclops.
When they kill the Cyclops and he starts screaming, I don't know if it was the theater that I was in or if this was all the theaters, but I was like going like this. Like it was like too much.
Yeah.
And I was like, and sometimes I heard like sometimes you couldn't even hear them talking. So I'm gonna that's gonna knock me off a point right there.
Well, but I think the siren scene was intentionally so that you couldn't hear shit. And as an audio producer, I'm telling you, it threw me the fuck up. Like, holy shit, they really.
They get it from
I can't hear a fucking thing.
In that scene, he puts the
yes, I didn't like that.
He puts it in his left ear and then he puts it in his right ear, and it does it on both sides. It was really fucking well done, dude. So I mean, I'm gonna say, like, as an artist, I'm saying 10 out of 10. This is one of the best movies, dude. I'm saying as an artist, my artist, as you know, as
art,
as you know,
subjective,
as a Nietzschean,
I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10.
It's the worst thing in the world.
I'll give it a 75% out of 100.
Can I give you my
that's good. I'm not saying that's bad at all. That's not a bad.
My Apollonian perspective, as Matt would say, Mandy would say. When you judge things from 1 to 10, most people choose 7 or 8, and that's like a choice because you can't, unless you love it, you say 10. If you hate it, you choose about a 5 or a 3. Like it's just like this
low 5 or something.
Yeah, you always choose a 7 or an 8. So like the rating scale of 1 to 10 is just bullshit. So really, you should choose 1 to 4 or 1 to 5.
Okay,
I get that. Out of 5, like a 3.5.
See, there you go. Okay, so that's a different ratio of.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm giving it a passing score.
I would give it a pass too.
Nolan's a master. But I don't know. It wasn't that great. Like it wasn't like it was great. It was great, but it wasn't that great. It's not the greatest movie I've ever seen.
No. Did you have any parts that you were like, "Fuck this"?
Might
this
push
sucks.
it to 4 stars. I might push it to 4 stars or 8 out of 10.
4 out of 5.
Yeah,
8 out of 10.
But did you have any spots that you saw that you were like, "Fuck this"? I have to walk away.
Well, I'm extremely angry that they cut Achilles out of the film.
Agreed.
And I know Achilles. I know of any of the don't act like I don't know Homer. I know Achilles isn't the main character of the Odyssey.
He should have been in the. He should have been in the fucking underworld.
Book 11.
Yeah,
he's still in book 11, and it's one of the most important scenes in my opinion.
Yeah,
right.
Because it really does. It really does. It's like what is it called when not the climax, but like the punch towards the end. Where
it's the turning point in this. It's that turning point in the story. Yeah. It's almost like the very middle of the story, right?
And they try to give you Agamemnon with Sinon, and like they try to make it work that way. I just feel like that doesn't work because Achilles is the image of glory. Especially for what Nolan. This is why I'm so confused. Especially for what Nolan's trying to do, that should have been the most important scene for him. If you're gonna make it all about like PTSD and modernized warfare, you know what I mean? So that's why I knock, and plus the sound thing. That's why I knock it off a few points.
Well, I mean, but the thing is that giving a rating, like I agree with you that like I hated everything about that scene because I love Book 11 so much, right? But what we were given on the screen.
One more thing, no, and I'm gonna push back. I didn't like how they depicted Hades. Why are we seeing a blue sky? Not blue. It was still gloomy.
Yeah,
he should be going down into a cave where you can't even see. It's just cave above you. There should be no sky there. That's not Hades. He didn't go to Hades. He went to some island. That was a weird.
Well,
I don't think that. No,
in the original, it's described as being as like the crossing of the particular river, and then he washes the shore.
He goes into the shore. No, he stays in the water. I'm not saying he's not in water. He does go to shore, but he goes through caves. He goes deep underground. He's not up. He's not in the where you can see the sky.
Right.
And that to me, it made it feel. I almost didn't even know if he was in Hades until I saw the blood, and then I saw Tiresias, the priest, and then I knew he was in Hades because I know read the book. But I don't know if anyone. There's probably people who watched the movie didn't even know he was in Hades.
Yeah, no, it was definitely not as like forthcoming that you're in Hades.
They should have made it like a deep. They should have just showed him going deep and deep and deep and deep.
Well, but I think that's part of his cinematic. Did you hear how he shot that scene? So it was shot in I forget what country, but it was during the twilight where like the sun never really goes down, but it's really dark at the same time. This is one of these like times of year that you could get that shot, and I think that's what he was trying to work with was like the natural lighting of like it just being weirdly dark, you know?
Yeah,
and
because it was a weird. It wasn't like a beautiful blue sky. It was a weird color that like.
No, I know. That's why I said it was gloomy.
Yeah,
that's fine. If it's better than having a sunlight, but I still think they could have found a better set for that. Anyways, that's why
I'll
give it an
right.
A.
So what Nolan did with that Hades scene is he turned it into the Christian concept of purgatory, not the Greek.
Yeah.
Hades. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
That points off for me. Yeah, exactly.
I know, but I'm saying like within the context of the film, it made sense that it's purgatory, not the Greek underworld, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, and also, you know, if it was a feminist film, right? If this was this radical feminist leftist film,
here we go.
There's no scene with him trying to hug his mother, right? That doesn't happen. So there's no motherly, you know, any of that stuff. And there's also not that entire scene with all of the queens. Remember that? Like there's like I think there's a dozen of them. There's a dozen queens that are in the underworld that he talks to as well. Like so if it was this radical feminist thing, it would have been all women in the underworld, and that's it, right? Because it's the women that are giving them the wisdom to go on and all that. But that's not in it because you got a Christian purgatory, not a fucking, you know, Greek underworld. So, you know, I don't see.
Before I go back to Ben Shapiro and since we did, I just want to show you. The last thing this was a feminist film. It just was not a feminist film. That's nonsense. Even
so
feminists themselves. Mary Beard's a feminist, by the way. She's a classicist, but she's also a feminist, self-described feminist. She says it in here. Where is it? She said, their biggest gripe is the treatment of female characters.
Yep.
And then, wait, I'm pretty sure in this article she literally said,
check it out. She says the ghost of the mother didn't make it in the end. That's cool. I literally just said that.
Yeah, and no, but
that was Mary Beard that said that. Hell yeah, me and Mary Beard are on the same page.
She also wrote this movie was an L for feminist. She goes, yes, the movie was a win for multiculturalism because of the casting, right? Fair.
Yeah.
She said it was an L for feminism, and then she gave her reasons. So if anyone thinks this is a feminist movie, you're wrong. It's just not. You could say it's multicultural because of the casting. Fine. That's fine.
The fucking story's an L for feminism,
but also
feminism. Like there's no feminism in the story. Like it's women are fucking wet or fucking, you know, they win women. I'm taking this one, I'm taking that one, I'm taking this one.
Also
get stolen.
Women in ancient Greece had to wear veils when they went outside.
Yeah.
Like they were walking around like women in the Middle East. Like I don't like people that glorify the Greeks, and I'm like, I try to drive it home. Like
what part of Greece, and it depends on what time period. Minoans were open-breasted. Minoans were open-breasted. They were. Yeah. So, but yes, there were some parts of Greece that were way more. They had the veil. Eastern, I guess
Athens.
You'd say. Yeah.
Athens, if you walked around wearing a veil. There's that whole Aristophanes in Lysistrata. There's that scene where the queen goes to the court and the guy's like, I'm not here to listen to women with veils on, blah, blah, blah. And she goes, well, so it's the veil that you have a problem with. And then she takes the veil off. It's fucking awesome, right? Like Aristophanes is like super win for feminism. If you want to make a feminist film, make a fucking remake of Lysistrata, right? Like that'd be fucking great. You know?
Well,
you want a woke anti-war film that's feminist, make that one, right?
I can't remember the character's name, but like there's a scene in the Iliad where one of the gods gives another human like all these rituals on a breastplate, and she says, keep it between your breasts, and that way you can control any man you want to do. Like I'm this is me like paraphrasing, but like there's a scene where one of them gives them another one like this enchanted fucking thing, and she puts it between her boobs, and like that would be a good feminism movie. They should do that one. You have no idea what I'm talking about.
I forgot.
I was listening to it while mowing the grass today. So
okay,
yeah, it was a pretty funny scene.
Okay,
but it was like this jump out of nowhere where like this woman tells this other woman what to do and how to, control the gods to get him to sleep with this person and trick this other person. It's a whole convoluted story. It's not that simple. It's fucking anyone who says, "Oh, it's this woo," it's fucking stupid.
I mean, most of the commentary on this has been absolutely fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Unbelievably stupid commentary.
You know who my least favorite is? Metatron.
Fuck Metatron.
Fucking I cannot stand him.
I
really liked him for a while. I thought it was interesting.
Metatron's one of the people that are in the category of de-dunking or de-dumpking, where every time you post, I say 2 words in a comment and say stop crying, and that's all I post.
But
it's been on every single post for years.
Does he report you? Like,
dude, D-Dump King, he has some of his fans that made like an AI art song, like AI song.
Really?
So it's like stop crying and has like my face on it and all this shit, dude. Like I think it's fucking hilarious. I think it's fucking hilarious. D-Dump King's a fucking dullard.
Yeah. So, but Metatron doesn't do that to you?
Hear what Ben Shapiro says?
Sorry, what was that? Yeah, let's talk about what Ben Shapiro has to say about this.
Specifically regarding the casting and some of the sort of stones in the shoe when it comes to this movie. There are certain flaws in the movie that feel enormous, truly, to the viewer. They feel big. It feels like a sort of chip in your tooth where everybody else looks at your tooth and they're like, there's nothing wrong with your tooth. And then you feel with your tongue, you're like, oh my gosh, there's like a canyon in my tooth. Well, there's some of those things in the film, and I'll get to those things. Some of them are things that you've probably been thinking about. Some of them not as much. But overall, the movie is, Nolan's great at what he does. I mean, the movie is a masterpiece. It is. Now, it doesn't hew entirely to sort of the characterization of Odysseus in the Odyssey, if you're reading the Robert Fagel's version, for example.
Oh, by the way.
Liberties.
By the way, let me just pause this for a second. He didn't say anything crazy yet. I found what I wanted to show people. This is where it was it was the podcast before that. So she did 3 Odyssey reviews. It's Odyssey 2, she says right here. Winners, complicated, twisted, turny, multiculturalism, Sam and Mathamorthan, Shilling, losers, feminism, humor, the gods. That I agree with. Yep. That I actually agree with this whole entire line.
Yeah, it's disenchanted. It's entirely disenchanted fucking film.
Yeah, there was no humor in it at all.
It was absolutely, and that's because he turns fucking Odysseus into the Christians, concept of Jesus. He even gives him a fucking baptism, dude. He baptizes Odysseus, and then turns him in
when he washes in the river. Is that what you're saying?
It's when he makes the raft and he goes off of Calypso's island and he like almost drowns. That's Nolan baptizing.
That's not how it went in the story.
Yes, very very subtle baptism. I agree.
Right, and then the scene after that, that's when he dresses up as a beggar, and that initiates the entire non-recognition thing, which is
that's
the Jesus story. Well, I'm saying, but I'm saying the things that he includes are things that are already in the Bible, right? Almost everything that's
what Dennis McDonald points out as a mimesis. That's one of the big mimesis.
That's what I'm saying.
How Odysseus returns and they don't recognize him.
Yeah,
and that's like when Jesus was here, no one recognized the Messiah. Everyone was like, "You're not the Messiah." That's what. So that is Homer. That's what the Christians are borrowing from Homer. So,
and it's interesting that.
That's why no one likes it so much, though.
Exactly, and all of the if you take almost everything that Dennis McDonald has pointed out about the mimesis in the Odyssey and the Bible, most of that stuff is in Nolan's retelling, right? It's stuff that's not left out, right? The Circe's pigs, that's not left out. That's right there,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You'd figure it would have to. When you're talking about ancient literature, most of the characters in ancient literature are not particularly well characterized. You don't sort of get their interior monologue, the thing that they're thinking the whole time. And the thematic, when it comes to the Odyssey, is not totally clear. You have a bunch of speeches that kind of will insert a theme here or there, but it's not as though there's some sort of overarching dramatic theme to the Odyssey other than a man trying to get home. But Nolan does something
There's
different.
no
He actually
overarching
inserts-
Jesus,
thematic
that's a description of somebody who's never read it.
Just tell me you don't understand the
there's a lot
story
of
without.
things.
Tell me you had never read it without telling me you never read it.
We mentioned the whole glory theme too. That's part of it.
There's no overarching story. What are you talking about, dude? Like,
yeah, there's a lot of like, just like family,
Yeah.
the return. I mean, there's just so many. I mean, what is he talking about? There's no overarching. I don't know what he means by
The
that.
first 4 books were from Telemachus. What are you fucking talking about, dude? He's talking about his dad, and he's not even in the story yet.
yeah, Telemachus is the fucking protagonist.
He's
in the
the
story.
fucking one of the main characters. Like,
yeah.
What are we talking?
What a goofball.
sort of overarching theme that I quite liked. Now, whether you think that's true to the theme of the Odyssey is another question. There may be hints in the original poem, but it's certainly not clear from the text of the Odyssey that what he's doing with Odysseus is actually kind of directly from the text. That's okay. You're allowed to take liberties with ancient texts. As a film, does it work?
Whoa.
No, it just happened. Oh,
Dude, the amount of commercials on fucking on
Absolutely. Now,
YouTube these days?
the film starts off relatively slowly. So the first hour starts off fairly slowly and kind of episodic. And then about halfway through, it kicks in and you realize what the theme is going to be, and it just gets better and better. So by the time you hit the end, it actually is quite moving and quite effective. Okay, so again, we'll start from the very beginning. Nolan is great at what he does. The movie looks beautiful. It's well shot. The images are incredible and iconic. They're images you can't get out of your head after having seen the film, particularly the fall of Troy, which appears in the last hour of the film or so, is extraordinary. The entire
that was a good scene, actually. I agree with him on that. Right? That was a fucking badass scene.
I was too close with my glasses, so all it was super blurry during the fight scene.
Really?
Like, yeah, during the fight scene, I couldn't make out shit, and it was just so like, yeah, I was too close.
God, I just was like, this was.
But
great.
I didn't see it on
great.
IMAX like you did, so I saw it like on a normal
even
screen.
showed how they brought it. By the way, that's not from the Odyssey either. The whole scene.
No, it's not. Yeah.
Bringing the horse in. That's from the Little Iliad. It's called.
Yeah,
it's a book in between Iliad and Odyssey,
which I think would throw off a lot of people who, only.
That's why. That's another one of my criticisms now.
Yeah,
if you're going to do that, fine. Yeah. I actually want people to do that. If you're going to make an Odyssey movie and you're going to throw in prologues and epilogues, right? That's what he's doing. He's throwing prologues and epilogues of the Odyssey. Then there's so much more you could have did.
Yeah.
Then why isn't Achilles? Why isn't Achilles in it? Right? Why'd you leave him out?
And
why?
Or Memnon.
Yeah.
You wanted to make a multicultural cast.
Yeah.
You could have did it without fucking with the text.
Totally.
Because you could have had Memnon and all of the Ethiopians there. Yep. You could have made that. You could have invented characters from the Ethiopian armies and maybe the queen's there too. You could have a female. You could do it. There's so much shit you could have did because Memnon is not just some random character. He's the son of Dawn. He wears Hephaestus's armor. Hephaestus's actual armor. He's wearing it. And and then Homer introduces him as the only person who can fight Achilles, the only person who has a chance to beat Achilles.
Right.
Achilles is number one final boss. You could have had that. You could have them squaring off, right? Could have been so cool. And then when he died, and then in the original text, when he dies, Zeus loves him so much that he makes him a god. So it's like, this isn't just a cop-out. You could have had a great character from the source material. And then no one would have complained about it because it's real. They would have been, they would have had, you know what I mean? It's part of the source material. And he fights on the side of the Trojans. The Ethiopians were on the side of the Trojans against the Greeks. Could have been a great villain. You know what I mean? So it was a missed opportunity, in my opinion. If you're going to do all this, why don't you just go big with it?
And you could have gotten some diverse casting on that too, as well. You could have
did it the right way. Yeah,
you could have had an entire black army. You could have there's all sorts of ways.
Yeah.
Also, Poseidon's hanging out with the Ethiopians in the beginning, right? You could have had a scene with Poseidon hanging out with a bunch of black people. If this film was about diversity in the way that the Chuds are saying it was, and the way that they're so upset about it, it's like he could have done so much.
That's why I'm saying you could have did it and the Chuds would have been like, well, I guess that is part of the text. You know what I mean? You could have. Everyone would have been happy that way. I'm just, I don't know. Maybe this is one I already kind of said this my last time I went live, so I'm not gonna beat that up. But let me just, in case anyone didn't see that, real quick, I'm gonna go back to this video in a second. But I just want people to see, like, Memnon is legitimate, king of Ethiopia, son of Dawn. He fights with the Troy. He joins the Trojans. He wants to go fight Achilles face to face. That's what he wants to do. He literally goes to fight. It says despite warnings that soon after Memnon fell, soon to Achilles. So you see what I'm saying? It's only after Achilles beats Memnon where Achilles dies.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh yeah, there's also a bunch of people that are upset about Indian people being in the movie. You just literally had on the screen right there. It said that he had an Indian. Oh, check out that Sindon or that Alabastron. That was cool. Go back. See the Alabastron. Go back. Keep going.
Oh,
Alabastron.
Yeah. That's Memnon. That's literally Memnon on an Alabastron.
There's a Memnon Alabastron. That's so funny. Yeah. That's amazing.
That is funny.
That's hilarious. Why doesn't anyone talk about that?
I know.
Why doesn't Nolan talk about it? Huh?
Oh, yeah, there's no alabastrums in the.
No alabastrums in the Odyssey.
You know, I mean, also, Achilles was hella gay, and Achilles dressed up as a
badass swastika on an Ethiopian army. Oh wait, no. Actually, I'm wrong. No,
yeah,
that's
a Roman.
Ethiopian.
I thought that's a Roman headdress. The Ethiopian's the one on top, right?
These are the Greeks. There's no Romans here. This is from 500 BC.
You mean
but
Trojan?
Look at that.
Trojan. Sorry,
no. That's Memnon right here. This is Achilles killing Memnon. Memnon literally
and there's
has
a swastika.
On
dude.
Memnon's fucking shield, dude.
Yo, that's crazy. A black guy with a swastika.
How fucking ironic is that? Okay, because you can see Achilleos. I can see it.
Yo, that's fucking amazing.
Memnon right
dude.
there. M-E.
I've never seen this picture before. This is
that's fucking.
Is this on a vase?
Yeah, that's a vase, right?
Yeah, this is Achilles killing Memnon. And let's see more details.
Who's in the up left? Is it the? Oh.
Hold on, I'll be able to check in a second. I just want to see right here. This is a Hydra water jug from the 6th century BC.
Gnarly.
So this is only a century and a half after Homer wrote the fucking thing.
Yeah.
This is like brand new. Like this is like the source material we're looking at. We're damn near looking at source material, and he's got a damn swastika. And he's the Ethiopian king.
An Ethiopian king with a swastika.
I don't know why I love that so much.
Man,
but
it says.
I know they would go crazy over this.
Dude, that's so funny.
Clash in their presence, the goddess Thetis and Eos. Hold on 1 second. Let me just get this super chat. People are talking shit, man.
Yo, yeah, your fucking chat is crazy.
My chat is they'll fucking the last guest I had yesterday, 2 days ago. Fuck, man, they were like they don't like anybody.
Not cross Bible.
The goofy Freemason guy.
Appreciate the $2 though.
That guy kind of sucks.
So you guys don't even like him.
That guy fucking sucks.
Each warrior with
I know lots of Freemasons, bro.
Yeah, that guy sucks.
I get you better.
So this is the Corinthian alphabet. Let's see. Who's on the top left?
I don't know. I can't make out that.
So that's an alpha. That's a new
alpha,
and
B.
On. I don't know what that is. I can't tell what that is right there.
So they're clearly like driving the chariot. So there's some sort of.
Oh, it's Alexandros. Alexandros. So that's Paris.
Oh, Paris. Oh, yeah.
Paris.
Yeah, he gets stabbed in the fucking ear.
Paris's older name was Alexander.
Paris's older name?
Paris's name is he's called Alexander and Paris. He got two names.
Yeah. Really? Okay.
Yeah. So Paris. And by the way, if you want to, he's based on a historical person.
Right there, and then the fucking ear.
So you have a 6th century depiction of Achilles killing Memnon with Paris fleeing. But look at this. Ready for this? Check this out. Alexander Hittite. Watch this. Did you know that Paris is based on a real person?
No.
The Hittite guy, right?
This is a Hittite text from 1280 BC. He was a king of, you know what Walusa is, right? You don't know where Walusa is?
It's Troy.
Troy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good. It's literally Troy. Troy. It's called Walusa or Ilusa. Iliad. Get it? Iliad.
Yeah. The W
It's got a digamma. So it's Ilios. Ilios. Yep. Troy. Anyways, he's the king of Troy. So you have Paris, the king of Troy. Paris is the prince of Troy in the Homer's books. In this particular context, he's the king of Troy. But check this out. It says right here, this has been taken as a hint to be an early Greek ruler called Alexander. He was associated with Homer's Alexandros of Ilios, who is better known as Paris of Troy. Yeah. However, this is uncertain, so obviously we don't know for sure. But check this out. It says Alexander is his god is Apollonius. And guess what? In the Iliad, who is Alexander's god that he prays to? It's fucking Apollo.
Yep. Right.
Apollo takes the side of the Trojans in the war. It's like he's very stern on that in the Iliad. He takes the side, and that's why Achilles slices his head off. It's Achilles going against Apollo. So this basically, some people think Paris is based on a real Hittite king, a real Trojan king mentioned by Hittite sources, I should say. So,
yeah, and a lot of the Greeks basically got all these stories when they colonized Turkey. Yeah, that was their.
This was passed down. This was passed down from the Trojans.
That was their entire.
I truly believe. I'm not just saying this. I truly believe this is the Iliad is based on a real historical event, and I think the characters. By the way, Memnon. Check this out, Memnon. Speaking of Memnon, did you want to know something crazy? He's a real person too. Watch
Let's
this.
See it. Give us that.
Memnon. Watch this. I'm going to show you right now. Where is it? It's one of these pharaohs, but he's one of the pharaohs from Nubia, which would be Ethiopia. Look at this. Amenemhat, I think that's how you pronounce it. Imnemnat. So it's you can almost hear Amemnon.
Yeah,
Amemnon. Yeah. And so he's from the 12th dynasty.
Elephantine.
Oh yeah, the Elephantine's down near Nubia.
Yeah.
Near Ethiopia.
Yep.
So yeah, he's from the dynasty that would have been, if I'm not mistaken, he would be right in that time period, 1200s. So, if I'm not mistaken, there's somebody who mentions this, that he is Memnon. So let me just do a word search. No, it's not in here. No, I guess not. But I'm almost positive I'm not the first person to point this out. I didn't just make this up. In fact, wait a minute. Oh, this is Memnon's page right here. Colossi of Memnon. The Colossi of Memnon. So this is in Egypt. Two massive 3,400-year-old twin statues of Pharaoh Amenhotep, Luxor. The Greeks and Roman visitors associated with Memnon. See, told you. There you go. So even in antiquity, here's historian M. Bernal claims that the Greeks based Memnon on Amenemnes, or however you pronounce his name, of Egypt.
Nice.
So an Egyptian origin of Memnon appears likely from Zeus swaying of his fate against Achilles in the Aethiopius. So there you go. This is what I'm trying to tell people. It might not be a historical account, but there's little bits and pieces based on real history in the story. Does that make sense? Like the Gospels. Yeah. The Gospels are a mythology, but there's pieces and bits that are actual historical. Like Herod was a real person. Jesus probably was a real person. Maybe not.
I disagree with you.
It was a real person. You know what I mean?
I side with Ruck when it comes to mythicism. Hail Ruck.
Sure. Fair. I don't have a problem with it. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. He might not have existed. I tell people all the time, they're like, what is your percentage? 50-50. Literally.
50-50 coin flip, sure.
What year was that from?
It depends on what I ate for breakfast.
Tails. Doesn't exist.
He doesn't exist, man.
That's the second time I did that on this channel. Last time he got Tails again. Twice in a row. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he just didn't exist.
What year was that from again? I missed the date.
Memnon,
yeah.
13th century BC, 1200s.
1200s, okay.
Yeah,
which is
when the Trojan War, which is when Alexander also lived. The one from the anti-tree.
And when Genghis Khan lived.
No, that's 1280.
No.
Yeah, it's 1200.
Genghis Khan's 1280.
Genghis Khan's 80.
Yeah, you're off by 2400
hey,
years.
Listen, it's been a long day.
You get your 80s and your beats.
No, I can see why it's a different part of the
I
world.
I was going somewhere way different.
Yeah.
That's fine. Just write about it in our book.
I'll put it,
you have
I'll make it real.
license to make stuff up where Genghis Khan.
What was the Asian dynasty in the 1200s BC? Was it the? Actually, I have no idea. Chinese.
I'll tell you why I jumped there because I was like, oh, it's Troy's a
dynasty.
Trade route in some fucking thing.
Yeah,
maybe
the Silk Road.
It's something. I just jumped to that. Like, oh, maybe there's something connected there that.
Well, yeah, but that's how these stories were disseminated. Was
So you had the
Chia
dynasty, you had the Chia dynasty, and then you had the Shang dynasty in that time period. Anyways,
yeah.
Two birds at the same time. Is that what they're saying?
Yep.
What does that mean? Talking about you?
No idea.
Go ahead, you can talk shit back. I don't
care.
No.
Killed two birds with one stone.
Two birds at the same time, brother.
Why are dude? My chat, man. Holy.
I'm okay with it.
They're rough, dude. No, not everyone's hating them.
I mean, the thing is that like, anytime I'm on your show, I end up getting like a few people that come over and say, hey, like I appreciate like what it was that you said there. Like, hey, can you like people
the Ammonites hate us? That's so crazy.
It's called, and they're not Ammonites, it's Ammoniskoi and Ammoniskos. Right?
Yeah.
Ammoniskoi for the group,
yeah.
Ammoniskos for the individuals.
Yeah.
They're little Ammons.
I was a moderator until I agreed with Neil, and now I'm not a moderator. So whatever.
That's good. Okay, so back to Ben. Should we go back to Ben?
I mean, Ben's boring. It's
dude. I've been listening to Ben since I was.
The reason I wanted to
18 years old.
The reason I wanted to show you Ben was because he specifically said that Zeus's law was biblical and not.
Where? I want to hear how he says that. Do you know where?
Maybe look for it in the transcript. It pops up there where he says,
yeah,
like search like biblical law or something.
It's not that far into it.
He just said it.
Yeah.
Oh, did he? Like,
I think
you
you're
right to
yeah.
it? Cool.
He has to learn that human nature is venal and greedy and bad, and that he's not in control of everything. But the idea also is that's why you have things like Zeus's law. And when Zeus's law is violated, then it is very difficult to put back together. There's a threat that is sort of materialized into the script, that there are these sea people who you never see, who are violating all the laws of war, and they're going ashore in places like Ithaca in order to invade it, and they're not paying.
By the way, people were laughing at the sea peoples thing. I don't mind it.
Yeah,
it's showing awareness, because the idea of sea people. So in the Armana letters, right? I'm pretty sure in the Armana letters it talked about people coming from the sea. This is where we get the term sea peoples from. So people are saying that's anachronistic. That's a modern term. Yes, but not really though, because the Armana letters mention sea peoples. Let me see if I can pull that up.
Well, I don't think the Emily Wilson translation says sea peoples at all.
No. But you're not. That's not quoting from the text,
right?
Because it's a film now, so it doesn't have to be. You can improvise, and you can make someone say, "Oh, these are the people from the sea," right? Are you the people from the sea?
Yeah.
And like, look at this. Ready for this?
We're gonna get to Atlantis real quick.
This is why I wasn't that mad about this, because I mean, we're talking 1200 BC, right?
Yeah.
We're talking around that time period. And if I'm not mistaken, Armana.
That describes them as being pirates, right?
Yeah, it talks about people coming from the islands to sack the East.
Yeah.
And the Trojan War might have been one of those, example. Pelestet. Some people think Pelestet is from Pelasgian too.
Yeah, that's where we get Palestine.
Yep, and then later
the Philistines.
too. Yep.
Yeah.
Ugaritic text mentions them.
Wow, the Ugaritic texts are talking about the sea peoples.
Oh yeah,
they're upset about it being included.
Yeah. And so this is why. So when people are like, "That's anachronistic," it's like not really though, because there are sources from this time period talking about peoples coming from the sea to sack them, and the Trojans would have, not even just the Trojans, any people from that time period would have been aware of this type of thing happening. So I don't think it was that anachronistic. I think it was somewhat anachronistic, but I don't think it was totally. It wasn't like a mortal sin to put that in there. I don't think. Anyways,
I mean, it's like it's people like Ben would probably argue that the story about the sea people that's in the Bible was written super long time ago, which kind of puts it in around the same time as Troy. You know what I mean? So like, if you believe your own book was written around the same time that Homer, which
that's
obviously
fair.
Everybody who looks at it critically knows that's not true. They kind of took a lot of this stuff from the Greeks, but if they're genuine, they authentically believe that their text is of that time, then their book says that the sea people makes sense that it's also the Troy and stuff, and then and the Trojans are related to the Romans, and the whole entire Romans they slaughtered the Jews and all of that. So them being the it makes sense that it's not crazy or radical or like this like inappropriate addition to the film. And it was pretty cool the way that he turned Odysseus and the survivors of the war into the sea people. That's a pretty cool like little conceptual thing. It's a fun little nugget.
It's a very you
can chew on that idea a bunch, and turn that into future ideas.
I didn't think it was like, I thought it was somewhat anachronistic, but I don't think it was like that big of a deal. I thought it's a modern awareness of that what was going on at that period. It was interesting. I think.
I mean, the Muse delivered. The Muse delivered that one. That's good on the Muse for delivering that. Nolan did that in the invocation properly.
Let's hear what he says about Zeus's law.
Paying attention to any of Zeus's law, and it turns out that Odysseus believes that the reason why that's happening is because he violated Zeus's law, and now you've unleashed upon the world this violation of the natural order. Again, very conservative messaging.
Wait a minute, though. That's not Christian, though.
No.
The Christianity doesn't have a karmic system where you do something wrong and the gods punish you. Christianity has you sin, God is patient. He's gonna judge you later, right? Unless he wants to intervene, that's his choice, right? But it's not like a credit debit system. That's more of a pagan thing.
That is very pagan, yes.
So I think Ben is off here. I don't know. I guess I'm pushing back on that idea, because in Christianity, yes, you have to you sin and you have to but you can get saved from those sins. Like the gods don't have to punish you. Is the point, right? You're literally saved by Jesus. Like that whole thing is like bypassed. They're trying to get away from that old pagan worldview. So I don't know about Ben. I don't know if Ben's right here. If that's a conservative thing or not. I guess it could be conservative still, but I don't know what he means by that though. It's not Judeo-Christian is what I'm saying. Right?
This violation of the natural
Johnny,
order.
I get the joke. You were making a race.
Once
Hang
you
on,
violate
Neil, real quick.
that
My brother was making a racist joke.
It's not racist.
An anti-Semitic joke. He asked me if Ben Shapiro watched it on Thursday, what day he watched it, and he definitely didn't watch the movie on the Sabbath. That was a very clever joke, Johnny.
Yeah,
I was just wondering.
Yeah, that's definitely a clever joke. I appreciate where your brain went with that.
He didn't watch it on Friday night at noon or at midnight either.
Exactly. He didn't watch it on Friday night.
So
that's a good one, Johnny.
I'm just
very
saying
clever.
He must have had influence because he didn't watch it when it came out. So he watched it a week later and was influenced by other people's opinions.
I thought you meant that he got.
No,
I just think it was.
I was going
I
way
think it's
different.
funnier if you're just making a savage joke. I like that.
No,
It was
Johnny,
a-
no, it's a
it was a
great,
savage
it's
joke.
a great savage joke. Very good and very edgy of you. Turn that one into something.
Well, I just bought a new fridge and it has like Sabbath like programming in it. You can turn.
Wait,
I
what?
should, yeah.
That's where your brain went when
Yes,
you were like,
that's
you were
literally-
inspired to make a anti-Semitic joke because your fridge has a Sabbath setting. Johnny,
Yes.
that's the muse delivered, dude. That's so fun.
What it
That's
really has like it has like 3 pages on like
That's
how to
awesome.
set it for the Sabbath. It's very interesting.
That's great.
I was like,
By
well,
the
how do
way,
you do
Oh
that?
Fug just dropped 20 gift memberships. Thank
Oh,
you.
shit.
That's
a
you
lot.
probably saved this stream because I'm probably going to get demonetized for playing all these clips, but I don't care. I'm not complaining. But you did come through and basically balance that out for me, so I have to thank you for that.
Shout out to the homie for that one. Appreciate
Shout
it.
out to the homie Oh Fug. Thank you. I think if I'm not mistaken, it's going to play that song for 20 times, but it's okay. It's pretty good. We can play Ben Shapiro.
Are you using OBS?
Yeah.
I think you can mute it though. If you there should
Hey,
be
I could do it. I could do it. Yeah.
Oh, Johnny, you know why he just donated all 20 of those? Because of your anti-Semitic joke. Look at that. He says,
There
keep the
you go.
anti-Semitic jokes coming.
Is that what he
Johnny."
said?
Yeah.
He did not say that.
No, literally. Oh, fuck. Just said, keep the anti-Semitic jokes coming.
Boys.
Up
He
a couple
really
more.
Did, he really did.
He
just
really
say
did.
that.
That's so fucking funny, Johnny. Johnny, you had like a the cleverest anti-Semitic joke of the night, and you got 20 gifted.
Now we got
That's
20
really
members. Now I owe you a clip of this. So
That was great, Johnny.
Well
Holy
done,
shit,
well
dude.
done.
It's just a joke.
All right, let's see where he's going. Let's see where he's going with this.
Buy a book.
Yeah, by
The
the
idea that
towel of
human
murder.
beings are greedy and venal. Now, you see that in the scene with Cersei where the men are turned into pigs, which, by the way, is one of the creepier scenes ever filmed. I mean, really creepy.
But that's actually in the movie though. So what does he mean by whatever? Let's keep going.
Oh,
The way that he films that is that Cersei physically manipulates these men get addicted to eating, and then she physically manipulates their bodies into the bodies of pigs. It's super creepy and weird. Yeah, again, really well filmed and thematically pretty interesting. And the idea is that he has to violate Zeus's law essentially one last time and then go into exile in order to preserve the city. And Samantha Morton, who plays Cersei, by the way. The basic idea here is that in the very last battle, he comes back, obviously, and now he has to kill all the suitors. Now, in the Odyssey, he just kills all the suitors and retakes the crown. And then he has to sort of broker a
No.
peace with all of the remaining lords. Here, the idea is that he's going to violate Zeus's law one last time in order to take out all the enemies, and then he's going to go into exile with Penelope, and Telemachus is going to become the king because he hasn't actually violated the law of Zeus. And that means that he essentially has to take on everybody by himself. Again, the thematic, I think, is kind of great. I kind of love it a little bit. And the movie is beautiful. And now, on to the actual flaws. So, there have been a bunch of flaws that have been
here's a flaw. You said
What is
Telemachus.
he
bro.
trying to say about he has to violate the law one more time like he wants
Because of the fucking, he stored all the weapons in the upper room, and then there was a hole, and dropped all his weapons in, and tricked everyone.
Well, so basically, he didn't want Telemachus involved in the slaughter of the suitors because Telemachus would then be violating Zeus's law and would have to be
because
under his exile.
they're strangers coming to his house.
Right. So, but Odysseus was kind of clever in Nolan's
Yeah.
version here because
He fixed it. Yeah.
because he was told that, you know, by the what's his name in the underworld said you have to go and bury a boat and you know give all of your people the proper burial.
This is part of the original. That's not
It
not
is.
a
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's so what I'm saying is that he took that that happens twice in the original. It happens with the Elpenor, like they have to go back to Cersei's island, bury the boat, or to give Elpenor the proper burial, and then
Then he has to trick the god to get off the island.
Right. So basically, they took and instead of what Nolan did a lot is reduce a lot of the redundancies. So things that happen, twice, like Telemachus made 2 stops on his way to Sparta. So instead of going to Nestor and then going to Sparta, they just did one stop, right? Like he kind of condensed a bunch of stuff, which is part of the tradition. That's part of the tradition. It's condensing things to make the story make sense for your audience. So, those redundancies would have just made the movie fucking 8 hours long, and like they weren't necessary to tell the point, the story that he's telling. You know what I mean? Oh, we watching Ben Shapiro still? What was Ben Shapiro getting at?
No, I didn't play. I didn't play.
Oh yeah, I mean, I just wanted to show you that like there are conservatives that are looking at this and going, yeah, this is like there's great conservative messaging in this. Like, what are you fucking chuds freaking out about? And it's just because the chuds are racist. That's like the only thing that the chuds are freaking out about. And Ben Shapiro, I think he goes on to kind of feed the sharks a little bit.
It is just the casting, I think. Like a lot of these people, the Wizard of Oz, they didn't even see it. They didn't even watch the movie.
Yeah.
And they just saw that Helena Troy was sub-Saharan African, and that was enough for them to be like,
"Yep, that's enough."
Nope,
nobody goes to like, "Oh, he beat the shit out of her." Like,
yeah, he beat the woman, the face that
cast a thousand
ships. Like he
beat the shit out of her.
He fucking forever damaged that face. Like, wow, that's powerful messaging, and also like not feminist, dude. Like, there's nothing feminist about that, right? Like,
exactly. That's why Mary Beard said this movie was an L for feminism, right? You know, it was. There was some.
That's a good point. I never thought about that part.
There was a lot of traditional shit going on in this movie. But look I wanted to make this clear. There's a way to be critical of the casting without and still not freaking out or like tweaking out about it. Like you can be critical of the casting. I agree with the casting critiques. I think they could have done better even with Agamemnon. I didn't like who played Agamemnon. I think Agamemnon should be a lot more of. He was like kind of like I don't know how to describe Agamemnon's actor, but he didn't sell me as Agamemnon at all.
Yeah, it
was like kind of like soft. It felt like.
Well, but Agamemnon
goes to Hades. You're finally get to hear his voice for the first time.
Yeah,
he's like, "Hey, when I got home, I got killed by my wife. It sucks. Now I'm here." It's like,
well,
Agamemnon should have a deep voice. He should be Agamemnon, the king.
I don't know. He spent half the Iliad in his fucking tent, so like he didn't want to do shit, and then he comes out and
that's the king.
I know, but at the same time, like
you gotta make him a warrior,
right?
Yeah, but he even tried to make him look like a warrior. I wouldn't have done that either.
Yeah,
I would have made him look like a rich, I don't know, just more of a king presence. You know who they could have did for, who played Robert Baratheon in Game of Thrones?
Yeah, totally.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Kind of overweight, kind of like a, but like a manly looking dude like that.
Nice comparison to what happens with Odysseus. He gets hit by a fucking boar and dies. And, very similar story.
There you go.
On a hunting trip.
So look, I think there's nothing wrong with being critical of casting. I agree with that stuff, but like to tweak out over it and then to like say we have to boycott the film, dude.
Well, good luck boycotting it.
You just sound fucking like nerds, man.
So Neil, you remember how I showed you how the within the right wing neocon discourse, the Bush era discourse of fucking within the right wings, the PTSD stuff isn't new. Are you familiar with Black Swan theory? Have you ever heard of Black Swan theory? Okay, can you share my screen here for a second? I want to show you this book. All right, so this is this book. It was written in 2007. Like some of the financial bros like really appreciate this book. It's a bestseller. It's called Black Swan Theory, and basically what the book is about is how like you have these like huge events in time, and that's they seem unpredictable in the moment, and then you have all of these stories afterwards that try to explain how that was actually predictable, right? That's called Black Swan Theory. All right. I'm trying to think. World War II, like a lot of wars are described as being Black Swan moments, Black Swan events. The Trojan War was the Black Swan event for the Greeks, right? That's the story that they used to, base all of their stuff on them, right? And it seemed unpredictable in the moment, and then it has this massive repercussions, and then afterwards you have all of these stories to try to explain what happened, right? That's called a Black Swan event. What Nolan did literally take Helen and Clytemnestra and make them black swans on the screen, right? That's all he did. All he did was take and apply this black swan theory, put it on the screen, and took what was traditionally a white person and made them a black person, right? And it comes from there's the black swans, like every swan was supposed to be white because there's only been white swans forever, right? Do you know who coined the phrase black swan?
No.
Check this out.
Juvenile.
This is the most Mandy Moore shit you're gonna get all night, where I'm actually trying to shoehorn a satirist in here and like explain to you like this isn't new stuff, right? The black swan imagery has always been a thing because there was only ever white swans, right? So there was only ever a white Helen, right? Do you understand? You know all of the Helen's backstory, right? Helen, how she was born.
Mm-hmm.
She's the daughter of Nemesis, and Zeus dressed up as was disguised as a swan and raped Nemesis, and then Helen and Clytemnestra were born out of swan eggs. Right? So all Nolan did was take that background story of Helen, apply this book that came out in 2007.
Yeah, but
the
myth doesn't have anything to do with Black Swan, though.
No, but I'm saying is that the imagery of the black swan, right? It's a phrase that's coined from Juvenile.
Yeah, I see
right?
that.
So this is it's very much a thing that he's taking the entirety of this universe that was created, right? He's going all the way back to Helen's stories of being born of a swan egg. He's taking Juvenile and he's taking this book that was written in 2007 and just letting the muse deliver, right? And I'm not saying necessarily it was Nolan. There's people in his writing room. Like this is a very popular book. A lot of people have read this, and Black Swan theory isn't a new thing. And he's from London. This is a common expression that's from London. Like you see this stuff in all sorts of old books and old texts about, in English stuff. So like this isn't new, right? And it literally means, all swans are white. So all these people going, Helen has to be white. Helen has to be white. Helen has to be white. Like it's Helen of Troy. Troy is the Black Swan event, according to Black Swan.
She's actually Helen of Sparta, though. She becomes Helen of Troy after she gets abducted.
Yes, it's when she becomes Helen of Troy. That's the Black Swan event, right? Do you know what I mean? But she is born of.
I'm trying to understand what you mean by like that's why he casted her as a black girl.
I'm saying that's what he did artistically on the screen. Sure. Right? He turned Helen of Troy into a black swan, and it's perfectly within Greek mythology. Yeah, Helen of Sparta. She was born of a swan's egg.
Perfectly within, because she is. Homer does describe her. He does he gives not a lot. You don't like. It's not like he doesn't give you like a total. He leaves it kind of open of how she, like what color hair she had.
No, I'm saying the swan stuff, right? She was born from a swan. I'm not saying that the color, and also getting back to the
black swan thing is not the same as her birth story. That's what I'm saying. Like that's two different things.
That's what I'm saying. You're taking the birth story, and then you're taking this modern theory of black swan theory, which is very popular amongst conservative financial chuds. Like most people know about it. It's not new.
I don't know if that's what he did though. I think it wasn't to upset the chuds that he did it. I think it was to please the what do you call it? The more left, the more liberal people to make, because he's doing, it's a Hollywood film. He's trying to get a bunch of funding from producers, and so that's what he had to do. He had to make a cast that here's my cast, and I have a trans person, I got two black girls, I got Indian guy, I got whatever. And I think that's just how it is. That's just the world we live in now.
I mean, so Nolan is of the era that like they used to that era of conservatives were very much like, oh, colorblindness. Sure. Just it doesn't like that was like colorblindness was part of their discourse, like their discourse.
But we're in
for him to
anymore.
I know, but he is of that era.
Think his choices was not to piss people off, more to please a status quo of the industry that he works in right now. 100%.
I think he's making an artistic choice. I think he's doing something very artistic, and I think he's digging into the background story of Helen. You know what I mean? It doesn't. What I'm saying, I don't see it as.
What do you
I'm
mean
saying,
by the
look at it
background
from
story of Helen, though.
Helen being born from a swan egg.
Why
right?
would that make that doesn't make any sense?
And you
Why would
take
that-
her and you turn her into a black character on the screen. That makes her a black swan, right? The Trojan War is a black swan event. This is
Those are
like
two different things, though. The black you just show me the black swan theory. That's showing that all swans are white, and then a black swan is something different. Now, her birth narrative is just a random born of a swan.
well, I mean, it's not random. I mean, Zeus rapes Nemesis. It's not random by any means. It's like pivotal to the Trojan.
No, I'm not talking about the if it's random or not. I'm talking about Leda, right? Leda being impregnated by Zeus. Is because Nemesis doesn't have the swan thing. I don't think there's two versions, right?
Nemesis is the
parents, Leda or Nemesis. The swan one is Leda, right? See the swan?
I think I'm not sure. Yeah, I guess maybe I had it mixed up, but I knew she was born of a swan egg. Sorry, I guess maybe
that's the Leda version. I don't know.
Some of them, but I'm saying is that like if you think about how many different people have had their hands in these stories, you know what I mean? Like we have all of these different backgrounds of how she was born, right? So people have been telling their own versions of these stories for a very long time. So you know what I mean?
But hold on a second though. To say Helen of Sparta, that's a place. This is not a mythology. This is not a mythological city. That's a real city. It's a real place. There's a real people, and if you're a Spartan, and I actually know a Spartan. I'm not just throwing out a hypothetical here. I actually know an actual Spartan who was upset about Helen not being Greek. He didn't care if she was blonde hair, blue eyes. He just wanted her to be Greek. And I think there's a fucking valid criticism. I don't think there's anything wrong with him saying that. I don't think it's that big of a deal to freak out and like lose your shit over it. It's just like, that's kind of bullshit. Why'd they do that? That's it. And that's as far as I would take it. He was more upset than I am, but the point is, Sparta's a real place. It's a real people. If I was to make a film about Yoruba mythology, right? Yoruba people, they have their own mythology. They have their own myths. They have their own founding myths. They even have like Odyssey-like mythologies. Their gods, for example, Eshu, right? This god right here, Eshu. Now, if I was to make a film, this guy's going to be fucking black all day. Like, there's no question about it. He's a black god. He's from African mythology. So what I'm trying to say is I think there's good criticisms to be made against the casting. But at the end of the day, like I said, it's not the end of the world either. It's just
Neil, check it out. Can you
call it bad casting? And then I agree. And then that's the end of it, you know?
But hey, could there have been good casting? Really? I mean, like,
Greeks.
Can you
Greeks.
All Greeks though? Like,
I don't know, not necessarily.
Neil, can I show you? I actually, a couple of people in your audience actually listen to what I said and go, "Hey, he made a point here." Devin is dead, and Higgins Swallowwop. They both kind of, are like actually like what Mandy is saying makes sense. If I want, it's a couple minutes ago they commented. I just like pulling up comments on the screen here. Devin is dead. Can this guy just articulate what Neil isn't understanding? The black swan birth and the artistic choice to rape swap her is being a black swan event. And then Higgins says, "You guys don't get it. Nolan is using black women because he's saying my movie is a black swan event." It's like what I'm saying isn't crazy stuff. Like people they understand it. And I have this non-articulate way, and I try to squeeze in some satires here and there to make my point.
I'm not.
I'm saying I
understand what Nolan's doing.
Yeah.
I'm also saying to criticize the casting to me is not a big deal. I don't see. I think there's valid. I think it's a valid criticism. Just like you would criticize, if you made a film about Yoruba mythology, and some Hollywood dude casted the god Eshu as Matt Damon.
Yeah.
You go, what the fuck is he doing? Why would it? Right.
Also, Neil, your Higgins guy, he turns out to actually be just a complete fucking idiot. He says he's trolling me. I'm like, you're not trolling. Suck my dick. Here's the thing. I'm smarter than you.
He's on my side. Got him.
Yeah. No, I'm joking. But anyway, I did want to do that Manny thing. I force in Lucian. I'm saying I'm forcing in satirist. I'm forcing in juvenile, and I'm trying to like explain like. Look,
I just don't think
what I did there. I can't.
The one thing I don't see is the whole. She was born of a swan. Therefore, we're gonna pull a black swan. I don't. To me, I don't.
Neil, I'm trying to do a
Where you're going with it. It's interesting.
Neil, I was trying to force in juvenile into the converation. That's literally all I'm doing.
As you naturally do, and I'm
trying to force satire into the conversation. I also want to. Here's the thing. I also want to make a.
We're always talking shit to each other.
Yeah. Also, I'm constantly trying to force a satirist into the conversation, and it would be unlike me to not have brought in that Black Swan fun stuff there. And I'm actually going to write a satire about Nolan's Black Swan thing. It is a satire I'm working on, so jokes on you. I'm literally like, suck my dick.
You're hella gay, by the way.
I guess my last thing I want to say about that before we change the subject is I understand people being upset about the cast, but at the end of the day, it's like, this is fucking Nolan's movie, and it's gonna you can't fucking lose sleep over that shit. You can't make if that's affecting you. I mean, that's kind of weak in my opinion. Like, and if it's that big of a deal, then fucking go produce another movie. Like, you can make another Odyssey. Someone else can make an Odyssey tomorrow.
Yeah,
anyone can make their own Odyssey. So it's like if the casting is that important, if Homer's watching this, and he follows me on Twitter, I follow him back. Then fucking get together with your Greeks over where you live, and fucking produce a real Greek Odyssey. Like, I support that shit. I'll go watch it. You know what I mean?
What do you think about the thought that Homer was a woman retelling the story because of the?
I think the argument is based on like the language, because he doesn't really describe himself ever.
No, never.
I think there's a lot of neutral language about who, but there's nothing positive arguing for him being I'm saying him. There's nothing positive for Homer being a female either.
Right.
So there are people who have made that argument. There's other classicists that I know who have said that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And the reason why it's ridiculous, because no one from antiquity ever put that together. Why would we put that together now? It's crazy. Like, we literally have people from the 600 BC talking about Homer, and they're not calling Homer a female. Like, if Homer was a female, the people very close in time to Homer might know that. They might have figured that out already. You know what I mean?
I just think that might be part of their whoever you were talking about before, saying like it's a loss for feminism, where there is like a sect that they think because Homer describes the weaving and all these intricacies of being a woman very, I don't think it's that descriptive, but it's enough that like, it's like, oh wait, why is that included when you're talking about all this other shit, cutting people's heads off? And
Homer was like the internet back then.
Yeah, I agree.
Different books, like the catalog of the ships in the Iliad book 2.
Oh, God damn it. It was the worst chapter.
It was a geography book.
The worst fucking chapter ever.
Yeah, it's a geography book, basically. So, like, you get different things in different books that tell you about the world, and there's books about sewing. There's passages about sewing in there. There's passages about food, right? There's all these different digressions that Homer goes into. So Homer was Homer was the most educated person in that time period, probably.
If Mandy got his banjo back from my mom's house, can he play for us at the end of the show?
She's still changing the strings, buddy.
Can you play for them?
She's still changing the strings. I didn't get my banjo back.
Oh,
you have a banjo?
I fucked this guy's mom and left my banjo at his house.
Oh,
damn!
I actually believe this.
Yeah.
Damn. And he dropped a super chat just for that. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I've been trolling this. We've actually kind of been trolling each other back and forth. It's been fun. That's one of those inside jokes. Actually, I said I fucked his mom and left the banjo. Yeah, it was cool. But also,
sure?
Hang on, hey, Neil. I just want to point something out. Was it not obvious that I was doing a bit to shoehorn in Juvenile into the conversation? Because this guy Higgins over.
I was kind of thinking you were. I wasn't.
I mean, that's what I do. You fucking dumbasses. Like I do bits, right? Yeah. Here's the thing. Let me do one that's absolutely fucking obvious clear for the people, right? Here's the thing that's bothered me about the Odyssey since I was a child, and I've reread the book so many times. It's in the guy's so fucking funny. He's saying, "Wow, go, so funny." The Cyclops scene, right? Yeah. You remember the Cyclops scene? Oh man, like it's the media illiteracy of people is absolutely amazing. And then you start tell jokes and do bits, and they don't recognize it's fucking funny as hell. I literally referenced the satirist in there. Okay, anyway, so you remember the Cyclops scene, right? There's cheese hanging from the walls. Who's milking those sheep?
Cyclops.
Who's milking? The Cyclops' hands are too big to milk the sheep, dude.
Yeah, that's just a plot hole.
I want that story. I want the story of the sheep milkers. You know what I mean? Yeah, that would be.
I'm sure. I wouldn't be surprised if there was some Platonist out there that wrote a chapter on this, or some.
Now here's the thing.
Back in the day, no.
Really?
Dude, you can find Platonists that just have random chapters. Plutarch is one of these guys. Plutarch's Symposiacs. He literally it's a dialogue between like 5 rich dudes who lives in mansions drinking wine all day, and they're like, "What do you think about figs?" I don't know. I like you like figs. Like there's a whole fucking 2-page dialogue about figs. Yes,
May's got some good ideas about figs.
This is real. This is a real. I can pull it up right now. I have Plutarch's Symposiacs right here, ready to go.
What did so and so do to the fig tree?
Oh, Dionysus. He turned that fig tree into a dildo and shoved it in his ass.
Yep, that's what Mandy says.
That was what the ancients say.
Whether wine should be strained or not. Aristio, what do you think? And he says, I think this, I think that. And then another one is, what god is worshipped by the Jews? And they go on and on. He's, I think it's Adonis. I think it's Yahweh. Or I think it's Bacchus.
What is this book?
It's called Plutarch's Symposiacs.
Okay, I need to read that.
Just, all it is these dialogues.
They're just talking back and forth.
Yeah, these Platonists, dude, they were just like the straight up like elitist fucking educated douches of the day.
That's fun stuff.
And they
sat around and like we're doing it right now, actually.
Yeah, no, we really are. Literally,
shit,
telling elitist jokes. Here's the thing. I just want your audience to know.
Listen, real quick.
They are.
Sure.
You
go first. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just trying to tell your audience that none of them are smart enough to know the reference that I'm making here about the Cyclops, why I'm specifically making the reference, and why I'm also trying to outdo.
Milked fucking.
No, not even that. The only surviving satyr play that we have is the Cyclops. It's a satyr play about the Cyclops. So I'm just trying to show your people out here that they are very, 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 very stupid, and I am very, 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 very smart, and I'm making jokes that are going to go over their head and are designed to go over their head because
nice.
You know what I mean? Just so that your audience knows how stupid they are and how stupid I think they are. So let me give you
an example of some of these, dude. One, I just flipped to random ones just to show you how silly these are. This one's 1 page long. What is the reason that pebble stones and leaden bullets are thrown into the water to make it more cold?
Oh, okay.
What? I never even heard of that. Who puts lead-in bullets in water?
What's a lead-in bullet?
I have no idea. Maybe lead? A piece of metal, I'm guessing.
It's a piece of lead.
Yeah,
a little ball of lead.
All right. Well, if it's cold, that would make the water colder, yeah.
And then wouldn't you make it lead infested? They probably didn't know that.
Yeah, well, no, they did not know
that.
The next one we didn't even know that till the fucking 60s, so.
Yeah, so they're probably all fucked up back then. This one says, what is the reason that men preserve snow by covering it with chaff and clothes. And I'm not kidding. Plutarch and a guest go back and forth for 2 pages on this random question. Here, let's do another one. Here, we got one about Homer right here. Okay. Why does Homer appropriate a certain peculiar epithet to each particular liquid and call it oil only liquid?
I actually had the same fucking wonder why they talked about oil so much.
I thought the same thing, dude.
Yes, that's why I just said. You were like, I wonder what the people thought about, and I'm telling you,
I literally thought about taking
they wrote about this shit. They wrote about, and we only have 2%. No, we only have 1%.
We have a fraction of the stuff that
I thought about taking an olive oil bath the other day. I was like,
we have this. Imagine what else was out there.
Dude, Neil, we're making the exact same point. The part that I'm making is
this is the painted porch, bro.
The only fucking Seder play that we have surviving is a Seder play about the Cyclops. You know what I mean? Like we just did the same bit. You did it your way, I did it my way. Right? We said we made the same point, the same. You know, I'm trying to sit here and say the jokes or say the questions. You know, I'm famous for the Cerberesian question. How many penises does Cerberus have? 1 or 3? You know, that's like
good question.
I read the same theory and stuff that you're doing. You know, I don't read the originals the way you do. I read people who explain the theory and write about the theory and all that shit. So you go straight to the originals and I read the secondary stuff.
Question number 10. Why do we give less credit to dreams in autumn?
Really?
Like, it sounds like ChatGPT made this up. Like these questions, they don't even sound real. But wow. Plutarch, man, that was just a nerd, man. He's straight. The greatest nerd of all time is Plutarch all day. He is the greatest nerd of all time.
Do you think that she trains with Derek?
Oh, this girl right here? Yeah. This is Emily Wilson.
I know. I love it.
AI probably.
It's fantastic.
That's hilarious, by the way.
Witch Doctor got a hold of her.
Yeah, she's one of Witch Doctor. Doctors. Yeah, totally. She's going to a tournament with Witch Doctor.
Yeah,
for sure.
She's one of Witch Doctor's students. He's got his own little bodybuilding cult.
Yeah, Witch Doctor's a bodybuilder, right?
Dude, I thought you were saying that you should have come on his channel or something. I was like, no way.
Oh, I'm going to reach out to her. I'm going to email her tomorrow.
You're going to reach out to him.
Yes, why not? I have so many questions for her.
By the way, he wrote, your gay adaptation of the Odyssey is weak and abysmal. Have you read my book at this point? Where is the scene of feminist Odysseus being a sex slave to Mistress Calypso?
Calypso, yes, that's my favorite part.
But
why is that left out?
The funny part of this joke is that she did criticize the Iliad or the Odyssey, the movie.
She did, like it. I bet. Yeah, I bet she didn't like it.
Everyone was. It was a total plot twist because everyone thought that he was using her translation, that she was going to approve it, and this was all her fault. Remember that? And it turned out that
he did use her translation, though, right?
Yeah, it turned out she didn't even like it.
Yeah,
she didn't even like the movie. All the liberals didn't like it. That's what's so funny about this.
No, I loved it.
Let me see if I can find that article. It's in here somewhere. Maybe not. He writes too much.
Is this a person you know, or is this a?
Yeah, it's Homer. Homer. He is very.
You have a
very
upset.
Homer. Yeah, he's very upset. Homer? He's a Spartan too.
Yeah.
He's very not cool, not happy about the movie, about the casting.
Is he showing his piece up there? Is that like a?
Do you guys know there was not one Greek casted in the Odyssey? Not one. It was just everyone but Greeks.
Well, I mean,
you got to admit that is a little. It's like it makes you.
But who? Wait, but is there a Greek actor who is prominent that should have been casted? That's been like, oh, this is the fucking Matt Damon of Greek actors.
There are a lot of Greek actors.
I don't know who they are.
But you're. I think what you're getting at is that how many. Like, yeah, you could have here. This is IMDb's page for Greek actors. Let's just pull it up right now.
Sure.
So you have Alex Garagoulis.
No.
Let's see. So these are names that I'm not familiar with these names. I'm not gonna lie.
You're talking to the wrong person too. I'm not a movie buff. I'm not one of these people who.
Yeah. I've never seen a single movie that any of these people were in.
Zach Galifianakis.
Okay,
that would have been sick.
Zach Galifianakis should have been.
Galifianakis, what would you?
He would have made a perfect Argos.
Yeah.
Let him lay in a pile of shit.
He's just in a dog costume.
Yep.
Fuck.
He would make a good. He'd make a good like Priam, King Priam of the Trojans. You know what I mean?
He would have laid in the pile of shit and go, "Are you sure this is the pile of shit I should lay in?" Or something stupid, like.
Oh man, Zach Galifianakis is Argos.
Like just two trees. The interview is like pretending to like
2 fig trees.
Yeah, like just talking shit. Talking shit to anyone that walks in, and just like, hello.
To known actually.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Wait,
he could have been a great Agamemnon.
What is the order from? Why is this person number 1? That's what I want to know.
I don't know. This is the fucking internet, dude. You
John
can't
Stamos,
trust
isn't he
goddamn
Greek?
shit.
Think so.
John Stamos Greek?
I think so.
John Stamos is Italian.
That's another thing. Why not cast Italians? At least you're in the Mediterranean.
Exactly. You're closer. Yeah.
Why not test Turkish people?
Turks?
Well, but where do you draw the line? All these people who are Americans, right?
Most Turks are just Greeks. Like an actual full-blooded Turk would look closer to Asian. Like they would, they would like Mongolian look. That's what Turks originally looked like. But there were so few that conquered. There's so many Greeks that the Greek DNA dominated, and now Turks today are like 75% Greek, 25% Turks when they all get DNA tests. I'm not kidding. There's a whole map about it. Greek DNA map of Turkey.
Is this based off of like
based off lots of data?
The one he's spitting in, I forget what it's called now. They just got bought out a couple years ago now.
Or Anatolian, which would be, I think that's Greek. Yeah, it's like the Anatolians, pre-Turkic Anatolian. Hold on, let me find this map that I was looking for. There's one I've seen before.
23andMe, that's it.
Yeah, I think it's based on people taking DNA tests. Like that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Where is it? Greek DNA. Is this it? Hold on, I gotta find it.
But I think a lot of that stuff is kind of skewed in a way. Like it's just like in the last 200 years.
It shouldn't be. No, it's more than 200 years now. Greek has been under, or Anatolia, I should say, has been under Turkic control since the 12th century, I want to say. 12th century? 13th century? So it's been a good 100 years.
What I meant was like the cultures have been so intermingling that like at what point do you can't just be like, he looks Turkish. Like
yeah, no, Turkey most people in Turkey don't even look Turkish anymore.
Yeah, no, they're
like a darker version of Greeks. That's all it is, like a little shade darker.
Yeah.
Oh,
you could have got Hassan Piker in the movie. That would have triggered some people.
Hassan Piker probably looks more like a Greek than he does like a Turkish.
Yeah, it would have triggered the hell out of the conservatives. They would have been more pissed off about that than Elliot Page.
I wonder if he does have Greek DNA. I wonder if he does.
He might be, yeah.
I don't know.
Here we go. I found something here. So this is Greek population. Oh no, that's Greek population. That's not going to help me out.
Well, I want to say, do you think there's no like DNA doesn't affect your ability to tell a story, right? DNA doesn't affect your ability to hear a story. DNA doesn't affect your ability to play a character. Like it doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? So you're just looking for the color of the skin of somebody on the screen.
Yeah, but
it's kind of goofy.
Also
you know
known
as a
phenotype.
No, not really though, because it makes up who you are. Like you are a person with an ancestry. I mean, you have certain things about you that like you're related, like you are your ancestors in a way.
Well, okay, let me ask you this. Does the muse discriminate based off the color of your skin?
Never.
No.
Exactly.
So what is it? But I'm not talking about storytelling. I'm talking about casting people based on a historical place. It's nothing to do with storytelling. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, it's based off of the story, not based off of
Troy is a real place, right?
Yeah, but I'm saying the story is fictional. Like it's a fictionalized story. There wasn't actually an Odyssey.
Troy's a real place, though.
But Troy in the story of the Odyssey is not.
Well, no, the Trojan War is a real war. That's a real war.
But a real war where gods come down and fucking send eagles and shit. Like,
no, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the places are real.
Okay.
In some cases, the people might be real.
2009 dropped $5.
Oh, we got 2 super chats.
Hey man,
oh shit!
Was the new live-action Little Mermaid movie with the black chick as Ariel also a black swan event?
Hold on, she was really good.
I mean, actually,
she was really fucking good.
See, I don't care about the mermaid because that's not a real place.
Yeah,
that's
okay.
pure mythology. I agree with you on this. I don't care what you put the fucking Black Mermaid.
But also, if you want to, do some Black Swan event, and keep the bit going.
However,
I mean, it totally would, because it's kind of the thing that was the catalyst to, all this culture war fucking. A lot of the culture war bullshit was people complaining about something as ridiculous as a black fucking mermaid. You know what I mean? Like,
but I will say this though, Higgins. Did the Little Mermaid do well? Did people like it? Probably not.
Right.
It didn't do very good.
It doesn't have anything. It's not necessarily because they hated that it was a black mermaid, even though some people did. But they didn't want the change. Sometimes it doesn't have to be racist. It's just a simple.
The story was not as good as the original either. Like they did some changes and things that made it not as
sure.
They also released it in like 2019, and then the fucking pandemic happened and all that.
I guess
like it just didn't land.
I don't think it's a bad thing for someone to not want characters to be changed. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I'm not saying it's a big deal if it happens. It's not the end of the world if it happens either, right? I'm just saying. But less for Little Mermaid than for the Iliad,
okay,
which is based on a real place in the world. And for example, let's go to Herodotus right now. I have it right here. Herodotus book 1. Watch this. Is Herodotus mythology?
It's
literally the history. It's literally.
I'm out of school.
Herodotus. This is actually history.
This is a history book. Yeah, this is not a. Now there are myths told in Herodotus. There are legends told in Herodotus. It's not 100% accurate.
He's recounting like folk tales and stuff. He's kind of doing almost like an anthropological thing where he's going around saying these people over here believe this, these people over here believe that. When
he starts his introduction in book 1, he doesn't introduce the Trojan War as mythology or they believe this. He just I guess he does say, as the story runs, he says that. Is that part of the Greek? Del terra de leg, as they say.
As they say.
So legusi, as they say. So
it's the same.
So he says, as they say, Alexander, son of Priam, that's Paris, and then he says, wanted to win himself a wife out of Hellas by ravishment, so he carried off Helen. So the Greeks, this is their history. So I understand Greeks for being like, why are you taking my history and turning it into something else? I get it. That's all I'm saying. It's a real place, real history, legendary at the same time. Let's not get like too crazy with the historical and accuracy stuff. But you see where I'm going with this?
Right. I mean, Herodotus isn't singing this. He's telling me what people are singing. You know what I mean? He's kind of recounting the story. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He's
putting it in a different form. He's putting it in a different genre.
It's real history, though. The Greeks. It's not even it's not till modern times where people thought this didn't happen.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that didn't happen.
That's from critical scholarship in modern times going, well, I don't know. The archaeology doesn't line up with all this stuff. But back then, they thought this happened.
8 dropped $2 super chat. Zeus turned into a swan to seduce Leda. Mandy.
Did it happen?
Right. I mean,
Zeus turned into a swan to
That's
Zeus.
that's actually giving you an alley-oop to dunk on.
Right, it's a backstory. It's like didn't actually happen. You know what I mean? Like there's backstories that are mythologized. There's you know what I mean? Like
so I'll give you a prime example. Caesar Augustus, is he a fake person? No, he's a real person. But his biography is told where his Zeus in the form of a serpent impregnates his mother Livia. That didn't happen. But that's part of his biography. It's not even a myth. That's a biography. That's how they told his story. Alexander the Great, same thing. Zeus, in the form of a serpent, impregnates Olympias. It's literally the same story. And they're both modeled on an earlier story from Zagreus and Persephone. So you can have real people in history, have legends written about them. And my point is, when those people are from real places on a real map, Greece, then I do think casting could be a big deal. That's all.
Right, but they weren't doing a historical reenactment or anything like that. You know what I mean? It wasn't that. It's not. It's the point of the movie wasn't to do a historical reenactment. You know, he was making art. You know,
and that's why I'm not making a big deal out of it. That's why I still think it's a good movie. I still think it's 80. I still give it an 85%.
I think it's a great movie, and like you know, it doesn't upset me at all in any way, shape, or form.
I'm not upset about it either.
And you know,
I'm just trying to give the nuance, and I'm trying to represent why some people, you know, that's all.
Yeah, and I also get to
Skip Bakken. Thank you, Bakken, for the 5. Good to see you. I'm beginning to believe the tree of life / menorah was changed from cannabis to almond trees to mimic the rites of Dionysus over feminine Asherah.
Well, I mean, that's the type of thing that's the type of thing that would happen. The way that stories are told over different places and in different contexts, right? So if you're in a place where your audience doesn't have cannabis like that, you take that portion of the story and you say, oh, it's an almond tree, because that's what your audience is familiar with, right? And you're delivering essentially what that piece of the story still means, and you know, giving it to them in a way that they can understand. You know, that's how stories were told back then. That's why you have so many stories that have so many things in common. The things that are different is where the interesting stuff happens. You know, that's where you can tell about the culture that the stories are coming from, and the culture, the differences in the culture, and the differences in the geography, and all of that stuff is in the differences in the story. You know, that's the interesting thing about comparative mythology is, you know, you compare all the things that are the same. You know, the differences is where all the nuance comes out of and manifests itself. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think the tree of life menorah was changed from cannabis to almond trees. I mean, I can't doubt that. I don't know how to assert that either.
What would be the connection between the two? Do they look similar?
Probably.
I think no idea.
Would know more than I am at this, to be honest. So that's why I'm not gonna. I don't doubt it. I don't know how to assert it either. That's all. And it's interesting. It could be true. Could be true. I know, and the point is, we know that cannabis was used by ancient Israel.
Really?
We have archaeological evidence of it. You didn't know that?
No.
Archaeological.
Yeah, it was the residue on the altar.
Really?
Yeah, they found residue on the altar.
Cannabis Israelites.
What does an almond tree have to do with the cannabis tree? Is there some sort of
something
you would know this? You're either holding back or don't know. So,
well, I mean, Asher was
dude. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm not. Asher was a tree, like a tree god.
Archaeologists identified traces of burnt cannabis in ancient Jewish shrine.
Yeah, cool shit.
Shrine altering. So, and to go even farther into this, in the Elephantine Temple, which I call it the OG temple.
Yeah.
They found an inscription there about the use of haoma, which is a Persian sacred beverage for contacting the divine, dude. It's for priests only.
It's an entheogen.
Yeah, it is. It's entheogen.
Some DMT shit, huh?
Yeah, that was that's going back to like 500s BC. Judeans getting all fucked up on that shit, dude.
Yeah, and we were just talking about
Yahweh.
And we were just talking about how these stories all tie into Elephantine from even before the Jews got there, right? Or the I guess the Yahwehs or whatever they called themselves back then. I don't think they were Jews.
They did. Judeans.
Oh, they did? Okay, yeah.
They call them Judeans?
The same exact Hebrew word you get in the Bible for Yehudim, for Jews and Maccabees and stuff. They call themselves that in Elephantine. That's why I make such a big deal out of Elephantine. That's why you always hear me talk about Elephantine, because they're literally Jews who don't have a Torah yet.
Oh, okay.
And because
what year is that?
The starting point is 586 BC.
Okay.
That's when the temple gets destroyed, and they're there till 400. So almost 200 years.
Almost
186 years.
And
one second.
_ Danny B's dropped $5 super chat.
Oh, there's two.
And sacred tree made into diamond. It was made into it. So it hides the real truth about the plant of grace / idolatry.
Oh yeah. Hold on, I'm gonna finish my thought in a second. So they're there for 200 years, roughly 186 years.
Okay.
And there's not one mention of Abraham.
Okay. He brought up 5,000.
1 second.
Dropped $2 super chat. Mandy, was Obama's 2008 win a Black Swan event?
Hold on, let's get back to that in a second. I want to finish my thought before I forget.
No,
the reason Elephantine is such a fucking big deal is because so the idea that we've all been taught, we grow up, whatever Baptist or Catholic church we grow up in, we're told that whether you think Christianity is true or not, one thing's for sure is that these Israelites are Torah observant, and they were following the laws of Moses all the way back to 900 BC, they'll say, right?
Okay.
Whatever.
Okay.
First temple period. But it turns out from 900 BC up until 586 BCE, that's the first temple period. And they're supposed to have Moses, supposed to have Abraham, supposed to have even Jeremiah and Isaiah and Psalms and some Proverbs and the Leviticus and
when is the Passover in this timeline?
They're supposed to have Passover by then.
Okay, that's what I thought.
So now, the first temple gets destroyed by the Babylonians and the Assyrians 20 years before that.
Yeah.
And they flee. They get taken in captivity to Babylon for 70 years. But a whole bunch of them, hundreds of thousands of them, flee to Egypt. And they go to Elephantine. And they write stuff down. They write in Aramaic. And they worship Yahweh. And they even build a temple to Yahweh. It's active from like 550 to 410. And we have hundreds of texts, up to 1,000, I heard. And what happens when you start reading these texts? We discovered them in the 19th century, and they're expecting to find, what do they think about Abraham? I wonder what these people think about Moses. I wonder what they think about Noah. I wonder what they think about Jacob and the 12 tribes. I wonder what their thoughts are on Leviticus. Nothing.
Nothing.
Not one mention of anything I just said. And their children names, then they name their children. Not one of them's named Moses. Not one of them's named Abraham. Not one of them's named Jacob. Not one of them's named Isaac. It's like they don't exist yet.
What kind of names do they have? Do they have Homeric names and Greek names? Like, are they the kids Homer and fucking Ajax? And
no, they're not Greek names.
Oh.
They have names like Yonatan. Yonatan's one of their names. So like they have Yahweh theophoric names.
Right.
So like Yah-Natan, it means Yahweh has given. They have a lot of Yahweh is God. Yael. Yael is a common name. Joel is a name. Job is a name. Like there are certain biblical names, but not the main characters, not the major figures. So what does that say to us? To me, it says the Torah didn't exist yet. That's what it tells me. And then there's a letter that I get in 410 BC. There's a letter, or 419, I'm sorry. In 419 BCE, there's a letter from Jerusalem to Elephantine that we've discovered. We have it. It's a physical copy of it. And it's written in Aramaic. and it says, in the 30th year of Darius, whatever it says, 10th year of Darius, we would like to tell you guys to keep what's called a Passover. And make sure you keep it on this day. It's like they're telling them for the first time about Passover in 419. And that tells me that Judaism, as we know it, is in a Persian period to Hellenistic period invention. Doesn't mean Yahweh didn't exist. Doesn't mean Jews didn't exist. It doesn't mean Hebrew didn't exist. It means Judaism with Moses and Abraham and Torah. That's later. That's what that tells me. So that's why I make such a big deal out of it. I love explaining it because I think people need to know this.
And the people that were taken by the Babylonians or whatever were the elites. Like those were the the scribes, that class of people.
Those are probably the ones who started Judaism.
Exactly. Yeah, those are the people that started writing the stories and all that because they were the ones that were literate. They didn't
absolutely
just a random shepherd or whatever.
The random in captivity were the most important ones. Yeah.
Right. Any idea? Just your opinion or anybody you've read about what the hell's going on with the screen?
You keep blowing.
Like any opinions when you think Jonah was written?
Jonah
is probably the story of Jonah.
I want to say Jonah sounds probably like 3rd century BC.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because what we have recorded now is in the style of Menippean satire, so it would have to be after Menippus is was alive.
And that's 3rd century, right?
Yeah, 3rd century-ish, something around there.
I think Jonah might be around there. Yeah, it might be 2nd century BC actually.
Yeah, and that's based off of Jason and the Argonauts, which was from like the 9th century.
Well, it's before the Iliad and before the Odyssey.
It was before all that shit. It was kind of the
one. One of the later ones too. So yeah, it might be 2nd century. But I'd say 3rd at the earliest.
Interesting.
Did you answer this one yet?
Yeah.
Zeus turned into a swan. Zeus.
Hosea divorced Asherah and sacred tree made into Dionysus, as Yahweh is made into him. So it hides the real truth about the plant of grace idolatry.
So they're saying that Dionysus supplanted the Asherah stuff, like as like a colonization kind of thing from the Greeks,
and that's what Plutarch might think too. Actually,
that makes sense. And from
Plutarch thinks Yahweh is just some Eastern form of Dionysus, some other Dionysus over there.
Eastern European
or Eastern Mediterranean.
Eastern Mediterranean. Okay.
I know what you meant. But yeah, that's what he thinks. He thinks like there is a Eastern Levantine Yahweh or Yao, because Yakis or Yao is also one of the names of Dionysus. Also, very common throughout Old Testament is a lot of vine imagery. Israel is a vine. He pours out his grace as like wine, like his cheerfulness. And there's a lot of vine imagery in the Old Testament. There's a lot of plant imagery. There is some stuff there. Anyways, I agree with
I kind of thought for some reason Asherah was like a rural goddess for some reason. Maybe I was wrong, but if the people that were taken from the Babylonians, they weren't the rural people. That would be
No, you're right. The rural people are the ones doing Asherah poles and stuff, and they were the ones
right
by the city of Jerusalem. That's kind of that's kind of what the dynamic was.
Right, and that's not the group of people necessarily that wrote down stories. This is where this oral tradition is maintained, is in these rural communities. It's the urban communities where the stuff is written down. That's where you have libraries, where you have stuff like that. So it's kind of that rural urban kind of divide there, and the people that were taken into captivity were the urban people. So the Asherah thing was kind of more of a tradition, and then the people that were supplanted, were these literate Greeks or whatever that Hellenized this shit. So just taking this already existing Asherah kind of fucking thing and turning it into Dionysus, it seems kind of super easy, especially if you do it over time,
Yeah. I don't think they thought of themselves as we are following Dionysus. I think because Yahweh is very old. But what I think what Plutarch means is whatever Yahweh is, his tradition or his archetype is of the Dionysian. It's the chthonic, earthly, life-bringing type of idea. I think that's what he thought. So you have Dionysus in the Greeks, and you have Yahweh of the Israelites, and they're similar. And there might even be, it might even been Yahweh and El, just like Zeus and Dionysus. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's how I would look at it. And then Asherah is like your typical Aphrodite or whatever.
Yeah, that's kind of the, when the pagan means rural. So I was saying that, Judaism has all these pagan roots. That's kind of the Asherah stuff that I was talking about, where it didn't become, a single God worship thing until very much later. And it took a lot
Way
of,
later. Yeah.
And I think, Christianity over time kind of reinforced a lot of that stuff. You know what I mean? And sanitized a lot of that paganism in the original Jewish story. Yeah. There's one more here. Higgins, Swallow. Thank you for the 2. Mandy. Obama's 2008 win of Black Swan event. Kind of. Yeah, sure. Why not? First black president, right? Yeah, great. Why not? Wouldn't that be the definition of a Black Swan event? Literally by the book. I mean, it would make sense. Like literally, like I don't have a juvenile. Maybe there's probably a juvenile joke I can make about Obama, but I don't know. I don't have anything prepared. Yeah, there's a lot about politicians too. Yeah, sure. Yeah, exactly. I know, right? Bakken's throwing another one at us.
At Bakken_Pan_Danny B's dropped $2 super chat. Cleanse the female religious elements into male.
Yeah, that's sort of what happens with Judaism. But there is, though, a sort of resurgence of a feminine Sophia or Chokmah figure in the Old Testament, in the Hellenistic period, in the Solomon wisdom text, which is in Catholic Bibles. Like I have a Catholic Bible right here, actually. And I can show you right now in Wisdom 8, it says this. Wisdom 8 says, her I loved and sought after my youth. I sought to take her for my bride. This is Yahweh talking. And was enamored of her beauty. She adds to nobility the splendor of companionship with God. Even Yahweh loves her, for she is the instructress in understanding of Yahweh, the selector of his works. And if riches be desirable possession in life, what is more richer than Sophia? Or if it's the Hebrew, it's Chokmah, who produces all things. And if prudence renders service, who in the world is better craftsman than she? It literally calls her demiurge, craftsman. Or if one love, and that's Gnostic too, by the way, because the demiurge is created by Sophia. And if one loves, this is where the Gnostics get it from. If one loves justice or one loves decay, the fruits of her works are arete. For she teaches moderation and prudence, justice and fortitude, and nothing in life is more useful for men than these. And he goes on and on and on. And this is like the next passage, he literally is like, I'm determined to take her to live with me, knowing that she would be my counselor while all is well, and my comfort in care and grief. And this is a being. This is a divine female being introduced into late Judaism. I don't like to call it late because look at this. He says right here, passing into holy souls from age to age, she produces friends of God and prophets. For there is nothing Yahweh loves more, be it one who dwells with Sophia, for she is fairer than the sun and surpasses every constellation of the stars. Compared to light, she takes precedence. For that indeed night supplants. but wickedness prevails not over Sophia. And they took that seriously. So one of the people whose book was central that to was Philo. Philo makes commentaries on that book right there. And you can see the Gnostics coming out of that tradition. Also the Christians too, because there was one thing. They were one. Gnostic and Christianity were just one thing, and they split off later on. So, yes, there was. So I guess I'm answering the super chat. They cleansed the female. Yes and no. It just depends on what time period and what book we're reading. So,
yeah, and who was it that was cleansing who's female? You know what I mean? What was the power dynamics there? You know what I mean? Who was supplanting who and that sort of thing.
And then you even have Mary worship veneration coming back in the church after the 3rd century.
Right.
3rd, 4th century. So, there's times where they kick it away, and there's times where they bring it back. It's like a wave, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's dynamic, and, it doesn't matter just because you can have literally this, a culture over here that's suppressing the female stuff, and a couple of miles down the street that's venerating female stuff. And, there was these like villages and shit that we're talking about, you know what I mean? Like the cities got bigger and bigger and bigger over time, but like, the big cities they're kind of spread out. You have all this space in between where you have villages and, various dynamics and shit going on. So, you have this exchange between all of these rural pagan stuff going on with all of this, state stuff going on in the cities, and the festivals and all that. You had your rural festivals and you had your city festivals. You know what I mean? So there were different stories that were told in different festivals, and it really just depends on, the background of whose story we're looking at. You know what I mean? You can be looking at two people that got along perfectly and project a fucking conflict on them. You know what I mean? There's a lot of dynamics going on when you're looking at this, these texts and stuff, and just opening up to a page, it's kind of difficult to, fully grasp exactly what it is, the dynamics, who's talking about who, you know what I mean? And who didn't like who at the time. So who was motivated to not, write positively about this person and shit like that, It's standard critical stuff. You putting money on them?
Yeah.
Check you out.
I'm looking through my old images.
Oh, look at you.
Damn, that was a while ago.
You wearing a Supreme hoodie too?
It was like 6 years ago, dude. Yeah, this is like 2020, 2019. Yeah, 2020. Well, this picture I just picked up from Facebook. I think I just grabbed one. No, I remember now. I didn't even make these. Someone else made these and sent them to me. They went to my Facebook and picked these pictures out.
Was it an Ammonite that was upset because you're
monetizing your fucking channel? God forbid.
Somebody was like, you need to start. Whenever someone in the comments says something cool, you should put this on the screen. And they were like giving me pointers because I was a brand new YouTuber. They're like, you need a slogan. I'm like, what do you mean a slogan? How about attain true gnosis? And I was like, I'll do that. And I just kept doing it. And
wait, the same person that made these dollars, or is a different person?
Same person was like, I have another idea. Every time someone in the comments says something good, you should throw money at them. I was like, I don't know about that. And then that didn't stick.
And back in _Pan_Danny B's dropped $2 super chat. Did Judeans worship Astargates? Maccabees mentions.
Yeah, they did. Of course they did. I don't know what the extent of was there different goddess. Was Asherah the same goddess? Was there different? Maybe there was an Asherah temple somewhere, and then there's an Atargatis temple somewhere else. Probably something like that. Maybe they see them as overlapping. I don't know. Who knows? But they definitely worship. That was definitely in the region, Atargatis, in Syria. So, yeah. Thank you for that super chat.
There's that book about the Syrian goddess written by that guy.
What's that guy's name?
What the hell is that guy's name?
Lucian.
Yeah.
Oh, Lucian.
Lucian.
Yeah. Atargatis.
He gets eaten by a whale.
Yeah, in space.
On the
I
moon.
forgot this is very ancient, very ancient. They're Keto of the Philistines. They're Keto.
Francis Bacon.
A lot.
It was Lucian.
Start day, Aphrodite. Mermaid goddess.
Hey, check that out.
Oh.
So there's the historical what was their name again? The Little Mermaid?
Oh yeah, there you go.
Ariel.
Yeah.
She was serious, or she was Syrian.
That's her name in the movie, Ariel?
Ariel, yeah.
I wonder what the reason for that is, like the etymology. Like, I wonder what the reason is.
Oh, hey, check it out, Lucian.
American.
Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah, we just said that.
I know. I was,
I thought you were like, yeah, no.
Pointing out. They're just pointing out. Hey, Lucian talks about this.
Where's the link to Derketo? They don't have one. I want to see if they have any. What's it called? I guess they don't have a link here.
I don't know what Derketo is.
It's the same goddess, but the name of her by the Philistines.
Oh, okay.
She has a temple in Ashkelon.
Okay.
Which I guess is in Gaza now.
Well, you would think it'd be in that paragraph right there.
Yeah, it's in Gaza. The Gazans are they're the Philistines, dirty Philistines. Those damn Derketo worshippers. Let's just light them up, dude. Fuck them. I'm obviously kidding. I'm joking. Yeah, that one didn't land at all. I was not funny. Okay. What was I gonna say? Yeah, Ascalon was a big deal back in the day, back in the Rome period.
What body of water is that on?
Mediterranean.
Okay.
It's Israel.
On the east side?
It's Palestine. Yeah. West side.
That's the Western Mediterranean.
That's their
Western. Okay.
I'm sorry, Eastern.
No,
Duh. I thought you meant Western as in like the land.
I'm sorry. I thought you meant by the coast.
You said
the coast is on the coast is on the east.
Yeah. I'm thinking I thought you meant like, is it on the western of the land? Yeah.
I was just trying to put in my head where it was. That's all.
Yeah.
I don't care what you said. It was
No,
right
good.
in my head.
We both answered the same question.
Yeah.
Thought we were asking a different question.
No, it's okay.
We both gave valid answers to
it's
the
almost
questions.
midnight.
I know. I'm super stoned. I'm just.
Yeah, we're gonna close out too. So. No, this is fun though. I wish we can. I wanted to have some more.
Why does she have legs? That's
dude. I mean,
yeah.
I wish that we disagreed on more stuff, man.
We should. You want to disagree on more stuff? We can disagree.
This is the stupid 17th century, though.
Yeah, no, it's
So,
fucking,
doesn't count.
Yeah.
No, we
It's
had some
so
good ones.
weird.
We had some good. We had a couple of disagreements. That was cool.
I know we need to debate something at some point. That'd be very fun.
Well, I will gladly moderate that.
You're gonna moderate a debate between me and Neil. We gotta find a topic.
No, I'm down. Diodorus mentions her too.
There you go.
Simeon.
I just know it. I know it from Lucian.
His name is Ichthys.
Ichthys.
Which is the name of which it means fish, but it's also the constellation of, what do you call it? The
Six Sisters. The
Pisces. Yeah, Pisces.
Look at you, Johnny.
I love. What are you talking about? I stare at the stars all the fucking time.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah.
Johnny, what are you doing tonight? I'm staring at the stars. That's what I'm doing.
I think some people think I might have to do it. Like, there's some Christianity link to this too.
Yes, there is.
I mean, this is literally
like the fish or whatever. Yeah.
But you know what this is, right?
Yeah, the fish symbol.
It means Jesus Christos Theou Huis Soter.
I did not know that.
But that's not actually what the pagans thought. That's what Christians thought. Like they later,
Jesus fish, right?
It becomes what do you call it? A synonym? No, it's what is it called?
Acronym.
Acronym. It becomes an acronym later by Christians.
Wait, Neil, you're telling me that Christians appropriate other people's stories for their own devices?
Don't tell anybody that.
Who would have ever thought?
Who would have ever thought, man? Who would have ever thought a Christian took an ancient story and turned it into their own?
See, Ichthus right there.
Ichthus, huh? Where is that from? I can't. Early
from the city of Ephesus.
Okay.
Isn't that crazy?
That's fucking wild.
Ichthus like fish.
And this is how they landed on bumper stickers.
Oh yeah, bumper stickers. Look, there's the original one right here.
And that's also
Ichthus, and then it says zone tone.
This is why they don't eat fish.
Living fish.
They don't eat fish in the Iliad.
Fish of the living, yeah.
Okay.
There's something. What book do they don't eat the fish? There's one of them.
Oh,
but that's also.
They don't eat. That's their. I forgot this. That's from Lucian.
Where they're afraid to eat the fish because they think they're.
No. Lucian says that they don't eat fish because it's sacred to the goddess.
That's right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because that's for the gods to eat, not for you to eat.
Right.
Exactly.
Don't eat fish.
Don't eat the fish, dude.
Or pork.
And it turns out there was just a mercury scare back then. And they just had to come up to get everyone to not eat it.
Well, they didn't understand
that made a lot of sense when they're drinking from lead cups and
everyone kept going mad eating this fish. They're like, maybe the gods don't want us to eat it.
Mad Hatters, you know where that comes from, right?
Mercury.
Yeah,
Mercury.
From the mercury, yeah.
That the fucking.
That's crazy.
I think that's where a lot of these crazy,
people.
Not just people, just ideas come from. Is some fucking Mad Hatter was like.
Someone probably ingested a whole can of mercury and started tripping balls and meeting gods and shit.
Boof the burning purple, man.
Boofing the burning purple. That's where it comes from.
He boofed the burning purple.
Yeah, he put a fucking clam in his alabastrum.
The god, literally, if you boof mercury shows up.
Well, that's how you commune with.
That's how that works.
Comes to your house and takes you to Hades, and you go for a ride.
Come on with us.
Boof it.
Anyways, this has been fun, guys.
Yeah, this has been great. We do a show monthly called Gluten Free Bread and Circus over on Scobie Wan's channel. I invite my buddy to come read a book that they've never read. We flip through the pages and talk about some bullshit. And next Friday we're reading Socrates Among the Corybites. So learn about how that little thing in Plato there where Socrates is initiated into a cult. A lot of people understand or have understood this to be a satire of of Aristics and all this stuff, and little did they know that it was a initiation ritual. Yeah, interesting stuff. So we're reading that book with some of our friends. Neil, you're welcome to join us if you want to come read about Socrates being initiated in a cult and Plato. We're doing that next Friday at 8:30.
All right,
it'll be a fun one. You've been on the show before.
Yeah.
And we have regular co-hosts now. We have Sirius 21 who you've met, and Witch Doctor, and together we call ourselves the Caustic Gnostics.
Caustic Gnostics.
Nice.
They're a wrestling team.
Yeah, we're a wrestling team. So
I like that.
The show's just evolved over time, and we're building stuff. So come and read a book.
Does play my bass upside down, by the way.
Yes, actually, it's 100% true. My brother has
not satirical at all.
Yeah, he has a left-handed bass, and we have a satirical band called Morrow Mibs, and
I am left-handed, and he plays my guitars left-handed upside down.
Yeah, it's fun.
So you were wrong. So
they might be joking.
Oh, they could be joking.
It's 3 hours anyway. Neil, you got any last thoughts on the fucking Odyssey and all that shit?
I give it 85% out of 100, 8.5. That's my thoughts. That's good. It's a good movie. Worth seeing.
Hell yeah. I give it a 6.66.
Nice. Now you dropped from the 10? You gave it a 10 before.
Oh, did you think I meant 6.6? I gave it 66.6 out of. I don't know. I'll figure it out. The Nietzschean in me hates it. It said 0 for the Nietzschean.
Yeah, I was gonna say you told me that earlier, so it can't be a 10 out of 10. No, that's good. You should go 10.
I know. I'm being ironic. I think it's I've exhausted the bit at this point. Yeah, 6.6 out of 10. Great movie. I suggested it's fun. A lot of people got upset about it, and they can fuck themselves. That old fuck them if they can't tell a joke.
You have just attained true
gnosis.
You have just attained true gnosis. The demiurge has no power over